Hello, welcome to our next episode of Fall of Uther, Merlin's Promise. So let's rip into this. First and foremost, this is our first time seeing Zack on this new familiar frame. So we got the pretty blue and white of our favorite house, Newton Manor,
Favorite.
present.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. Except for you. You're cool. You the real one.
If you guys really think about it, though, you guys liked almost every one of them other than Jareth. That's how much you hated
We
Jareth.
don't like Sir Jarren.
He's such a
We like Sir
punk.
Merrick. We liked Sir Merrick.
You liked Sir Merrick, you liked Rickert, you liked Jareth, or not Jareth, sorry. You liked Rickert, you liked you liked Jarren, you liked,
Yeah.
you didn't hate the father. You
Really,
had no,
we just
Yeah.
hate Jarren.
yeah.
It's true. Now we
Do
have
you-
an entirely new family to hate because he married into a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one that we were
they
already
formed-
having issues with too.
That's true. We just kind
So
of
convenient.
consolidated the people we hate.
Yeah.
Humble Creek will burn.
Whoa! You're careful, man. You're not nieces there. Goodness.
All right. So let's dive in. Okay. So as a quick recap, I guess we didn't really introduce you guys. We just talked about Zack for a second. That was selfish of me. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is a Pendragon campaign going from the first day Uther took office, actually technically just before that, to the death of Arthur. Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Yeah, with that we'll go ahead and rip down the list to let you guys do your introductions. Starting with Thomas.
Hello, my name's Thomas. I'll be playing Sir Edrich of House Winterbourne, Stoke. And that thing I said about Humble Creek burning, that was just a joke, you know? They haven't messed with me yet.
Fair enough. Mark.
All right. Hello, I'm not Zack, also known as Mark. And today I'm going to be playing Sir Florence of House Idmiston. And yeah, I'm excited for the probable chaos and consequences of my previous decisions to hurt. It's gonna hurt.
That's never a thing. That should really work out in the end. So. All right. Go to Liam.
Hi everybody. I'm Liam. I'm playing Sir Perin of Durnford. Yeah, Perin. I think Perin's just straight up doing treason now. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We're taking it one day at a time here. But I'm very excited for the next couple episodes. We got some fun stuff happening, including a wedding. Yeah.
The wedding? Indeed.
A wedding.
And for those that missed it, on Open Pendragon, this guy made a little cameo. If you recall, he was one of your squires. I forget whose.
Signan.
Who
Everybody that I know that has a name similar to that sucks, so I don't know.
I think that was mine.
Yeah, he was a.
Oh,
he was the mad lad who joined us on our blood rage as we were defending the land against the Saxons. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of, anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that in mind, let's maybe just do a quick recap because we had a week off, and it's probably worth going through what's happened recently. So, last episode was a big episode. That was the episode with Terrible and Tintagel, or Tintagel, as it's properly said, and I will try to remember that and say it properly. But at Terrible, the Duke rode out from basically from a sortie at night. So in defense, they rode out against a unsuspecting camp of a much larger army, and were not very successful. The Duke died in the process. He wanted the king. The king wasn't present. He almost killed the prince, but the prince was saved by a mysterious lady in white. Or at least thus far. There was a vow made, I think. I'm trying to think of the key things there. Not Perin. Virgil had to fight his own uncle. That was a pretty good cross. We had.
He's not. Virgil would say he's not his uncle anymore.
Right?
You owned your own uncle.
Edrich.
Honed.
I think I updated these. I finally did. Look at that. We can see who these people are now. So we had Perin as well. Edrich, you went one-on-one with Brastius for a short bit, did you not? Is that what happened?
I did. Yes. No, not Brassius. It was I was chasing him, but Sir Owain got in the way. who I
Owain, yes.
defeated.
And you,
Captured and
you were after Brastius. You fought Owain, and you actually took him down, took him hostage. I gave you money for that, right?
Indeed. I've taken the money.
Yeah.
I spent it on stuff.
Okay. And then we have Sir Florence as well. Florence made a vow to the prince to look after, or not the prince, the dying duke, to look after his daughters. Was it just the daughters, or was it daughters and the queen? Or not
His
queen.
family, I think.
She's queen now.
Yeah, I think the oath was to protect the daughter, but I guess your reign would be also considered within it, but that's a little more complicated.
It is.
That's harder.
Yeah.
So just like that, just to bring it home for those watching the stream, I'm taking Igraine's icon right now, deleting the Duke's coat of arms, and dragging her over to where the king is, and putting the king's coat of arms with her.
No.
This a war was fought for this change.
I feel so bad.
This is what many knights died for. A change in coat of arms.
Yep. Pretty much.
An unhappy marriage.
Wouldn't be the first time, probably won't be the last.
Could be worse.
That's true.
It could be worse. It'll get worse.
No, it could
It will
be.
get.
It will be worse.
It could be worse. It will be worse. Yes.
Yes.
There we go. There's great. Okay, so let's maybe talk about. I think that pretty much brings us up to speed. You were able to go into Tintagel, where you were able to beat up with Igraine, the rest of Uther's army, Duke Ulfius, your own count, etc. And the children. After some things were sorted out, you found out that you were to be stationed in the Castle of Terrible. So you did not get to go home over your winter phase. Are there any highlights?
Not a lot of knights were happy with that.
Yeah, I bet. It's specifically not a lot of player nights were happy.
No.
On that note, does anyone have any key things that they took away from the winter feast? The one where you were in Terrible? There might be one minor thing for Edrich, maybe. Just like a small thing.
Oh, one minor thing. Despite his best efforts to flee and also hide and run away from the problem forever, his friends put him up to actually speaking to Oslaf, his Saxon, now no longer prisoner, now possible bride-to-be. They shared a tender moment where Edrich promised that he would be the best possible husband to her and kill anyone who looked at her funny. Additionally, over the winter phase, Edrich's mother was crippled. But she still lives.
Oh well,
That's
fun.
She got better.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think I'll go for a walk now.
Still alive.
I got something. Mr. Perin had a baby girl as well. I have not named her yet. Perin has, but I have not. That's pretty much it, other than the fact that a building burned down, and I now have defenses built. So that's fun. Looking forward to never having to use those.
Awesome. Do we have to figure anything out for that for you? Or are you good in that sense?
I am still figuring that out. It won't really come into play until this winter anyway, so we've got some time. I got that stuff that you sent me, so I just need to actually sit down and look through it, which I'm doing right now.
Another thing from the Winter Feast is that independently, both Sir Florence and Sir Perin offered each other's loyalties to Sir Roderick, they would each come up and go, I assure you, my loyalty and the loyalty of my companions is at your disposal. Twice.
Well, Perrin's was a little bit was flavored a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's fair. Another thing that Florence learned from the now Earl Roderick, is he may be in the chance to become a baron. That's right. He may just be granted a barony by the king that is currently in talks about it. So you may soon be dealing with Lord Florence.
Ooh, you're gonna make us have to refer to you by that title, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
you know it.
I'm just the worst. And yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty good summary. With that in mind, let's dive in. We're gonna start in a
I think Mark be briefly frozen. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, thanks for noting that. Which means our cameras are about to get messed up, probably.
Oh, no.
I want to have that. Too bad it's copyrighted, but it'd be great to have that intermission song from Monty Python. It'd be great. The one with the flashing lights.
He's back.
Hello, is Mark alive?
I am probably.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
he's moving.
Can you hear me? Am I being heard?
We can.
Okay.
Back to the Australian.
I can hear you.
I see.
Yep.
Good news, Mr. Bob.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but immediately I'm just gonna go for it. No buildings were destroyed. I found the chart, I rolled it, and it ended up coming up with a negative result. So no worries there. Nothing burned down. Thank God.
There you go.
So good things do exist in the world.
Yeah.
Negative result was a building built from the fire.
I wish that would be nice.
There's now this new building here. I don't know what happened.
The fire got rid of something that was just really awful. You know, it was just taking up space.
As a Christian, I absolutely trust massive fires that give me shiny things. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
When has that not worked out?
Exactly.
I think it's a good thing to focus on myself.
We talking about
Golden Bull spoke to me and he gave me shiny stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, any winter
worship the Golden Bull.
That you want to add?
No sons, unfortunately, for Florence. Still, just another daughter. So you know. I mean, you know, it's great and everything, but I don't know.
Well, get ready to play a dame.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, I have a new aunt and a new house knight, or whatever the.
Was that a random roll?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
You just keep collecting family. I think like at this.
I know.
At this point, like, are you like that? You're like that new famous rapper. Like, you get big, and then everyone's like, "Oh, remember me? Like twice removed."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We hung out once in high school. Like, do you want to give me $1 million for my project real quick? Or
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Except it was.
If you can hold a sword, certainly.
Yeah, it was a random lady that apparently fell for Florence's uncle. So now she's part of the family, and she brought a knight with her. So
indeed.
It's going great.
Yeah, so they were actually...
those are
house knights now?
Those are useful. I'm a fan of those. Those are pretty useful. Yeah.
For Zack's context, that family is from the port town that got burned down. You know, the remnants of...
Oh, it was an Emerita or Emerita? Enderida.
Enderida, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
I think
okay, good... Only good news from that place. Yeah.
Andromeda? Wait, that's what are you talking? Okay. Yeah, it's like the only good news from that place. Somebody survived it. Ooh. All right, let's go into the feast. We're gonna start with an appearance roll from each of you and an intrigue test from each of you.
Intrigue.
Ooh.
What was appearance and then intrigue?
Yes.
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 Oh. Did Perin get hotter? I think he might have gotten hotter.
Look at that. Everyone's
It's
everyone's near the soul. Considering this is a
If
royal
Uther-
feast, that's not bad.
Yeah, if Uther is
Oh,
here,
wait a minute.
Perin-
God damn it. I don't need that now.
look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even if you hadn't gotten that critical, you would still be above the salt because of the deal.
The
you
one
made.
time I get a critical, I'm already up there. Fuck.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
this just means extra glory.
It does. It does mean extra
Oh, yeah.
glory.
Well, it is-
okay,
it
and
is
then the
the-
other one was intrigue.
King's feast.
Mm.
So if you get pulled up to
look
the
at this.
table, you're stuck there anyways. So.
Perrin's got a 19 intrigue now. Look out, Pomponia. I've got
Wow.
you in my sights.
Too higher than me.
Hey.
I'll catch you. I'll catch you, my pretty.
I'm just here with my 10 intrigue.
Oh, Jarren's has increased to a mighty 5, so
Yeah.
he is very good at the game.
All right.
But that does give you 16 glory, and I will add that to the glory tracker.
Yes, indeed. So, real quick, each of you who passed intrigue may kind of get one rumor and one named guest. Because there are a lot of guests here, and it's a very big event. Furthermore, everyone who passed intrigue can get a sense that this is Uther gathering together a bit of the realm. So in Tintagel specifically. So starting with who passed intrigue first? We had no crits on intrigue, right?
No crits, don't fuck.
No crits.
Okay. So Thomas.
Thomas, Thomas passed it first.
Thomas, give me a D5 roll, please. Or a D6. D6.
4.
Okay. King Lot is present from Lothian, way to the north.
Ooh, very nice.
We'll go to who passed next. Florence? Jarren. Nope.
That would be
Perin.
Perin.
Perin. Perin, give me a D6. You just can't get the same number. Reroll if you get a 4. Basically.
Okay, I'm great at re-rolling if I get a 4. I do that all the time. That's a 1.
All right. Though Igraine is actually not present, despite her 3 girls being present. Rumor has it she's pregnant.
Oh
Ooh.
boy.
How long has it been since they got married officially?
Well, they got married in the fall of 491. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. We shall go to. Did anyone else pass intrigue? Florence did, right?
Florence did.
Give me a D6 roll.
2.
Okay. There is an Irish king present as well.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
Irish
interesting.
king. Do I know what he's the king of?
Yes. Just looking here.
Is a roll for racism necessary from our resident Irish hater?
No, I
Or
hate
do you hate the
Picts.
Picts?
I don't think
Yep.
any of us
Okay,
hate the
I always-
Irish.
Yeah,
Is
no,
it-
fuck those guys. I mean, not non-racistly though. Like, fuck those guys that I don't care about them.
His name is King Anguish. He's
King
from
What?
Lion.
No, it is
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
King English of the Irish.
Okay, can
King
you
Anguish of
imagine
Leinster.
following someone named King
Leinster.
Anguish into battle?
Anguish. What a traditional Irish name.
Indeed.
This is my cousin Despair, and this is my brother Existential Dread.
We fight on behalf of my sister Pity.
We
All
have
right.
not seen Mercy, our cousin, in quite some time.
So let's dive forward here. There are, what you'll note is those are two of the people you've been called to recognize. There are many kings present. There are many people with crowns on here.
Is by chance the Centurion King here?
You guys have met him in person, yes? Give me a recognize
Yes.
plus 10, plus 15. One, you can narrow it down to people who have crowns on, so you can start there, and then you can...
Did I meet that? Did I meet that person?
You did
I
not.
don't
You were,
think so.
you were
No, I
busy
weren't there.
fighting
Yeah.
with Jarren that was where Perin lost his hand.
Oh yes, I remember that year fondly. You don't need to remind me.
Yeah, you cut your
You
hand
met a
off.
king! What did you do during that year?
I gave a hand to the raids.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so-
good shit.
The Centurion King is not present.
Not surprising, considering the rumors we heard last time, which was that he essentially vamoosed out of the latest, I guess, appointment to High King that Uther tried to throw.
Specifically screwed Uther over by
Yeah,
bringing away all the high whatchamacallits.
High Priests.
I think I have a special name, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
The
he's so
Collegium?
large.
Collegium. That's
Collegium.
right. I knew it was something Roman.
So this
Romans.
this here is Lot, and the reason why I'm putting him on here now is he's got two other kings that seem to like sit and greet with him as if they're very familiar and very friendly with him. And you're not sure who they are, so I will just note them. I think all of you would recognize that they dress in similar garb to like Lot himself and the Centurion King and others from Melahut. There's more furs and thicker clothing. So you're guessing they're Northern Kings.
I believe that's
So
King
long as they're
Sun,
not Saxons, things
and that
are
one's
fine.
King Bit.
Yes,
And some, lots, and a bit.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay. And then finally there's aside from the Irish King who's also present, there is one more king as well. So it seems like an abnormal amount of kings for no agenda on this. So one, Uther must have some
nobody's
sort of
angling for
agenda.
anything here.
Yeah. One, Uther must have some sort of agenda. Two, there must be a really good reason why kings would bother to come here. That's the impression you get.
All the way to the other side of the country.
Or different island in the case of the Irish king,
Mm.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
so with that in mind, I'm going to shuffle the deck.
The part of the island specifically that have been beating them back for decades.
I mean, he's probably from the Northern Island.
So, what was the location of this feast again?
This is in the Duchy of Cornwall, at the old seat of the dead Duke Gorlois.
Right, yeah,
Tintagel
his
Castle.
blood on the floor, yeah.
Yeah, so you had to go all the way. For Jarren, who didn't participate directly in that war, you had to kind of travel all the way to.
Oh yeah, he is not happy about being here, away from the eastern shore where we're constantly being raided by Saxons.
Yeah, and here you are.
I
out
heard
west.
stories.
Literally the western shore, by the way, too. So, all right. With that in mind, let's dive in with Perin for round one.
Okay, so I cannot draw feast cards because I'm above the salt. So instead, I'm going to do my true purpose here. I would like to, you're never going to guess, I'm going to roll an intrigue check And my objective here is to find out if there are any of the counties that neighbor Salisbury are currently in disfavor with the king. Or not gnarly, obviously, but just like a little bit of like, has somebody been annoying or outwardly protesty to some of the stuff that Uther's been doing? That's what I'd like to know.
Sure.
Is it gonna? There it is. It's a 2 out of 19 success.
Silchester, being part of the March, is very loyal. That's clear. The Vale. Sorry, not the March, the Vale. Duke of the Vale, right? Is what he is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Ulfius.
Ulfius,
yeah.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
So then you get into like the independent counties, or so Summerland, yes, has a reputation of being pretty upset about Uther. Their concern is they've been invaded prior, and there's lots of gossip, and they're kind of worried about the idea of Uther sort of finally getting rid of Cadwy, despite their former... They've made commitments with Uther, but so did Gorlois. And that's what changes everything is, like a year ago, everyone watched Gorlois and Uther get up together and say, we're good friends. And then just because of a minor stain of hospitality of Gorlois refusing the king's presence at court and departing without notice, which is a slight, like it's a slight
big deal.
of hospitality. Yeah. Like you would have to request your lord's leave when they call you somewhere. He knew he could not get his lord's leave, so he took off. And anyways, the side there is that Summerland is probably the most vocal anti-Uther group out there right now.
Okay.
I think your Edrich would go a little bit further and say that many of the northern kings and kingdoms are upset with Uther for this move as well.
Okay. North, too far north is going to be tricky to raid, so that's going to be, it's possible, but we'll have to see. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what the Centurion King did last fall or last summer at Gorlois' funeral. So, all right, we'll move. Did you do an Edrich test? You did, so make sure you check it, and then you get 3 geniality for that.
Hell yes, I love having 3 geniality for this.
Glory for days.
I'm gonna be so genius.
Genial, I think is the word.
It is.
Nah. I know what I said.
He wouldn't miss
I
a
said
chance
what I
to be called
said.
a genius.
Yeah. Edrich.
Well, I know precisely what I'm going to do. Now, I do notice that the prince's token is here.
He is in fact
But-
here. Let me
but
give you an update about the way the king looks. He looks noticeably aged. There's signs of graying in his beard now. There's a patchiness to his skin. He looks kind of pale. His arm is hung in like a makeshift sling, and there's no he doesn't really move quickly, and he just seems very not Madoc. What you might expect from someone who's just really in a rut. So he's just kind of staring at his cup and not even talking to anyone as he goes.
Edrich does regard the un-Madoc-like Madoc, and his brow furrows, but, well, he makes a mental note to ask one of the others to talk to him. He and Prince Madoc were not that close. He might do it himself, but first, I've got to draw a card. I've got to draw 2 cards, because I'm just a little bit off drawing 3.
Oh, we should talk about
I'll
glories
get
too while we're prepping
yes.
this. What is everyone's? Let's do a glory count for the audience. What is everyone's new glories at?
Good glory total.
I will go first.
ahead.
I am at 4,338 glory.
So Perin is
Very proud.
4,438.
Very proud of that. 4,338.
338.
Do you want to go next, Thomas?
Sure thing. I am at 4,898.
Fuck.
Damn. you're catching up.
4,898.
No.
Yep.
Killing Gorlois did some favors for you, man.
It did do some
Oh, yeah.
favors. Additionally, I have a lot of mostly passions that are over 16, which have been getting me.
It adds up.
Getting me some dividends. Yeah.
But we are all notable knights now. And
Indeed.
I am currently sitting at 5,205 glory.
Very nice.
Catching up, Thomas. I mean, damn.
All I
Okay,
have
well-
to do is kill one more duke.
You gotta get up.
Just a
5,205,
couple more
right?
dudes.
For Florence?
Yeah, 5,205.
And Zach, do we have your most updated for Jarren? Or is there a lack from the previous year?
No, I think I added it all together. He's at 4,756. So
Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
I was just reminded of something. Thomas, you actually get to draw 3 because you're at notable status.
Oh, I thought it was at 5,000 we did that.
Nope.
Certainly.
4,000.
I will draw another card.
4,000 is notable, and the next rank is 8,000, which is famous.
Okay. I have in my hot little hand 3 cards: a lady flirts, damaged goods, and a game of dice. Damaged goods does not apply because I don't have jewelry. So I'm going to discard that and draw again as it says that I can.
Okay.
Whee!
Just waiting for that host card.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so we've got a lady flirts. A lady of the court flirts with you. Oh boy, good luck to her. The second one is all you can eat. A voracious knight challenges you to see who can eat the most. I roll indulgent versus his, and if I fail and he wins, I depart the feast. If they fail and I win, I gain 5 glory. And if I surpass a multiple of 1,000 glory in the next winter phase, I can increase my size by 1.
Ooh.
You know that's not coming from your height, just so you know. You're you're in your bulk phase at the very best.
bulking up.
Yeah.
He's carb load.
Carb loading. The third thing is a game of dice. Several knights leave the feast for a time to play a game of dice, and they ask me to join them. And if I succeed, I gain a number of denarii. I'm not great with gaming. I'm not very indulgent. And I'm awful at flirting. And my fiance is right here. I'm going to pick a lady flirts. And I want it known that Edrich is showing absolutely no interest. I want to fail, but if I succeed, I want it to be friendly.
It's also kind of draining. It's a
Can you
Also
roll a
training.
reverse passion?
This is all you can eat you're choosing? Is that what I heard?
No, a lady flirts.
Lady flirts? Oh man. You go.
Oh no,
My
I kidnapped some
flirting-
people. Oh shit,
my
I kidnapped the
flirting-
king. Oh,
Oh, no.
god.
The king, Perin, your plot just started.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Alright. Lady flirts.
Failure, exactly as planned.
Alright. No, not a fumble though.
Didn't fumble.
Not a fumble. I would have actually been fine with a fumble. But with Oslaf right there, I actually don't think Edrich even takes it into account. I imagine this unknown lady of the court, comes up and starts making conversation, and Edrich's, what are we eating? What are we eating, Bob?
Ah, yes, good.
Porpoise, of course.
Porpoise
The
and peas.
porpoise, of
Indeed.
course. Porpoise of Corcus and cockatrice and And oh man,
It's
there's
the
something there. I can
cockatrice!
make.
Roast eagle.
Yes.
Look at all that
And,
protein you got this time for
yeah,
your bulk
I-
I
phase.
think we are in my bulk phase. I think I would like it to be sort of a mishmash of the two. Like a knight starts an eating contest, and Edrich is just on the on the corner, kind of going, "I will not be bested in the field of food eating." Meanwhile, this lady comes up and tries to engage in conversation, and Edric's like, "Oh,
Right.
what do you need?"
Yeah, and she's like, oh, okay. She moves on. We won't even name her. It's so insignificant, the interaction, right? Because it doesn't.
Good.
Yeah, I think if you had gone out and intended to flirt with someone, that might trigger something. But if someone flirted and you
Yeah.
failed in response,
Exactly.
yeah.
No, Edrich is loyal, even when he notices he's being flirted with.
Yeah, it was just Lady Grain.
Yeah.
It was just Lady Igraine coming out and going, "I like the kind of man who kills my husband. Do you think you can do it again?"
All right. With that, so you get one then, because the card is worth 0, and you get one
Yeah,
for near the soul,
Just
right?
one geniality.
Yeah. Just making sure my math is right. All right, we're up to Florence and then Jarren.
Alright, I'm going to draw cards.
Okay.
Difficult questions. Chance encounter. And more food.
Bulk.
Bull.
The same knight goes, "More!"
That's awesome.
Alright. Difficult question. An unwed lady asks you how she looks. Flirting or romance, your choice. Keep this card until you interact with another woman. You can draw this card while you keep this one. Each round, make one flirting or romance roll. Flirting success. A lady remains at your side, amused by your banter. Romance success, the lady gets used to your compliments. +2 geniality. And a fumble, you discard this card and lose all geniality. At the end of the feast, if you still have this card, you may preposition the lord, the lady's lord, for permission to court her. Only one issue with that.
Where there is your wife?
Yeah, she's here.
Yep, just there.
Hey,
She
you
is
need a
present.
son, right?
Yes. A chance encounter. That is true. I mean, you can legitimize the bastard.
Cadfile's just glaring at you the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. All right. A chance encounter. A lady asks for your help. Succeed. You offer the lady some sage advice on her problem, and she remains at your side. Gain the appropriate trait, passion, or skill ticked. Keep the card as long as you keep it. You gain +1 geniality per round. Discard this card if you interact with another lady. That was not too bad, actually.
I heard old lady.
Old lady.
Yeah. All right.
And then more food. We've already seen that one before.
Which one do you want to go with here?
I'm going to go with chance encounter. So it doesn't offer a skill to be rolled. So I assume I get to decide or you get to decide.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
it
I
says
made
gain the appropriate trait, passion, or skill.
I made the mistake of looking up what a cockatrice was again.
Yeah, every time. Hits you like a ton of brick.
All right. Okay. Lady asks you for help. This is literally how you met your.
I think so, yeah.
Or no, I don't think. Not
No, it was
quite
the
this
dancing one.
Yeah.
I think it was a different one, but similar theme.
Okay.
So I think we should figure out who is the one that's asking for help.
I'm gonna say it might be.
The same one who just kind of floated past Edrich.
No, I think it's gonna be Morgoth.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you had actually offered like your services in front of them, did you not?
Yes. 2 separate occasions.
Um,
Whatever she needs. House Idmiston will be there.
She makes her way over to Florence for a moment and pauses.
Ah, Lady Morgause. This is
Sir
a
Knight.
pleasure to see you once more.
She nods. I wanted to. Well, with everything that happened, I recognize that your vow is true. And if it was Father's words and Father's desire, you seem to impress Father, and that means a lot to me. I just wanted to say, we're not ready. None of us are. But I consider your actions noble, and I'm aware of them.
That is all I can ask for, my lady.
Perhaps you could offer me some advice.
Of course. Name it and I shall do all I can.
She's come from above the salt for this too, by the way. And she says, because they are now officially Uther's stepdaughters. Right? I can't help but notice all the royalty, all the importance that's here. I think it might be the king's intention to marry us off as soon as possible, and to foster alliances in the process. Do you know how one might assess someone's quality? To know what kind of man they really are?
I think I would dare say this is a skill I have a certain way with. For me, I find that it's easier just to charm everyone into, doing whatever it is that you are kind of preferred. Or simply staying out of their way. However, that's, I suppose, more of the knightly perspective, opposed to that of a lady. But if I had to say, and what skill exactly is this going to be? So I can tell you what I think.
What do you think?
Honestly, my first instinct is like awareness, insight. However, just looking over my traits quickly to see if there's any of them that I think would apply. So I think that would be interesting. But I don't think so. Also, if any of you guys have suggestions, feel free.
It's specifically the card calls for a skill, yes?
No, it says
trait,
skill,
passion,
trait,
or
or
skill.
passion.
Trait or passion, okay, perfect. So passion for me would be like, sorry, go ahead, Thomas. You throw your thoughts in here.
If you're going for like personality traits, you could do perhaps suspicious or even spiritual, because I know that Florence is quite a spiritual person. As far as passion goes, a love of family could do the trick. Alternatively, there is always intrigue or courtesy.
What about hospitality?
Hospitality could do.
Hospitality.
Every time I've rolled hospitality, I've fumbled and gone insane.
Hospitality
I think
could
I've
be
done
good.
all
It depends on what are you trying to
Yeah,
convey
what's
to
the
her.
sagely advice? I think what Florence will put forward in his bit of advice is that it's less about understanding the true self of someone, but understanding how they work, how they react, how they understand what they see and hear. If you can understand that, then, or let us say anyone can be made to be adjustable, livable. Now, I'm not talking about straight up manipulation, but few small things earn favor,
Okay.
and favor earn much more.
Okay. So
I think that's his bit of advice.
my immediate thoughts, and I think it'd be fun to do it this way. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun for you to test truthful.
Okay.
And if you fail, rather than taking it as intrigue, she's going to take it as like a lesson in deceit.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. All right.
You
Let's
better
go.
goddamn do
Roll on
your
truthful.
work. Be truthful. Yes.
Success.
She nods to you. I suppose you're right.
All right. So what am I rolling?
No, that's it. That's your trait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and tick
Okay.
it. And then you get 2 geniality. One for it's a 0 card, so one for being near the soul and one for passing. Right?
I think with this, as it happens, I think Florence will go. How about I show you a little bit of it? Just while we're around. There's a few people around here that I think can be adjusted to see things my way a little more. Perhaps you might be able to see me at work.
She nods. I'd like that.
Florence smiles.
All right.
And then that is his turn.
Awesome. And we'll go to Jarren next.
All right. Well, Jarren, somewhat similar to Madoc, is looking a bit older, more worn and battle hardened. There's bags under his eyes. Seems like he's been traveling without much sleep, and is not entirely happy about being here. Well, him and feasts don't mix very well in general, but particularly now. But I'm going to draw some cards. 3 cards. Oh, guess I put them in my hand. Oh,
Oh,
so we got a host passes by.
Oh, that's the host card.
The host comes by and speaks with you about a topic dear to your heart. Oh,
And just so you know, unfortunately, this becomes the problem when you get to this high level, is if any of these have that cup on them, they're considered a host card, and that is the one you must choose. So it's almost like you get to draw more cards, and in a way you have more freedom, but also everyone demands your time now. So it's like, oh, there's an important figure of mine that I haven't talked to, kind of thing. I'm sure there are better ones there, but I think it'd be fun. I think, well, you're stuck with this anyways by the rules.
yeah.
So I think it's fun though. We haven't really seen Jarren interact with the king ever, I don't think.
Oh, this is not good. This is
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's gonna be. What do
Particularly
you think is best in
because
life, Jarren?
his
well,
strongest-
I think we should be killing Saxons right now.
In particular, this was gonna be the edge for Jarren because his strongest passion is love of family at 21, and his uncle just died in some random ass war over what exactly? Jarren is very curious, as in angry and pissed off. So what do I gotta roll? Strongest passion. Okay.
Oh, is that family?
Oh yeah, yeah. Love of
Oh.
families at 21.
Oh man.
So
I love.
I
Yes,
love having relatives
so-
that still live.
let
Do you want to start with the king? Like, do you want me to do the introduction and we can roleplay it out a little bit from there? Does that work? 'Cause it's
Sure,
kind of
yeah.
king passing by. You can't help but notice the king gets up and he's going to get more wine for the guests, even though that would be like a servant's job. He's just being a gracious host, as it were. And I just noticed Mark vanished. That's funny. So you see the king start to walk by, and he pauses and he says, "Sir Knight, I don't think we've had much in the way of conversations, but I recognize your coat of arms, and I recognize you by your glory. You're Sir Jarren, yes? One of the Knights of the Sword? The one absent, unfortunately, from many of my feasts. I haven't been able to honor you in public, and for that, I would like to say I'm sorry."
Let me roll something real quick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Where's courtesy? Okay, good. So, Sir Jarren's when he looks up and sees the king in front of him, his jaw grinds for a moment. "Yes, my king. I am Sir Jarren of Newton Manor, and it is a shame that I haven't been able to join the many battles that you've been in recently. I've been on the eastern shores, protecting the lands there from the Saxon invasions."
Yes, your brother's land. Indeed, the Saxon shores. Now with the west looked after, we can focus our intention on the Saxons and, well, anyone else that gets in our way. And he pauses a minute, and I think at this point, it's like Morgoth is walking by to talk to Florence, so she kind of like passes by him. And
Sir Jarren's gonna say something if he
yeah,
can.
go for it.
Sir Jarren kind of leans in and says, "I'm glad that the Western Front is taken care of. I have been out of sorts fighting on the Eastern Front. I hadn't heard of all the information. What exactly were we protecting the Western Front from?"
A traitor. Surely you've heard of Duke Gorlois and his lack of honor, his failed compliance to his king.
Ah, I have heard. Seems I've been out far too long from proper knowledge. I just hope. Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Sure.
I just and Sir Jarren shakes his head. I just hope that now we can get back to the Eastern Front. A whole port town was burned and sacrificed to pagan gods.
Awful
These
news.
things.
Awful news indeed.
And Sir Jarren nods. My uncle, Sir Merrick, has fallen out here in the west. I hope to make sure no more fall here on wars without the Saxons being involved. But now that we have the traitor in line, I suppose not.
Yes. Many fell in the Duke's awful nighttime attempt to slaughter us in our sleep. I was not present. I was in Tintagel. But I'm sure you heard that my son suffered a grievous wound. Grievous wound. One I intended to pay back to the Duke in kind. Unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to slay him myself. Though it seems the other Knights of the Sword were successful in doing so. With that, the little young Morgan comes running by. And right after her, Elaine. And Uther, I'm tying this back to the card here, that's what I'm trying to do. Uther turns to Jarren at this point and says, that's right there, that's two of my new stepdaughters. You see, I've married a grain now, as one could only do after such a terrible thing. Killing Gorlois was...
Jarren has a visibly upturned eyebrow.
Yeah.
This is the natural thing to do to a traitor's wife.
Killing Gorlois was a necessary evil, and I intend to do his name justice and ensure that each of his daughters is wed to an important and noble and strong house. Family is very important to me.
As soon as this topic comes up, Jarren's assertiveness and aggressiveness in the conversation immediately cowtails, and he sits back a little bit. Oh, I see. I understand. They, well, I hope then that for the strength of the kingdom at whole, that they find good families. Well, I know they will, if you are to look out for them, my king.
I will indeed look out for them. As for your uncle, know that he died fighting for the future of Britain. Soon we will have one land and one king.
One land, one king. And Sir Jarren nods.
Right. With that, he pats you on the shoulder and continues on. I think Goratrix walks past you, by the way, because Goratrix is his bodyguard.
Hey, Jarren, good to see you again.
Goratrix, yeah. Immediately would brighten up seeing a fellow warrior. Have you ever been to Huntland or Humble Creek recently? Have you?
Oh no, good heavens, no. I try to stay away from there for obvious reasons. That said, should the battle with the Saxons take us there, I will accompany the king and I will strike against our enemies. But no, I think they all hate me. Anyway, I can only talk for about 10 more seconds because Uther's kind of walking out of a eye shot.
And Sir Jarren smiles, that perhaps that mischievous smile you would see on Jareth, but with less maliciousness behind it. Well, there's perhaps one there that wouldn't hate you.
Oh, is that the case? Which one?
There's a little one. Well, she's not so little anymore.
Oh, yes. I have spied her a couple of times. Once before I got clubbed over the head by a very angry man. She does seem a good child. I look forward to seeing how she grows, if I can.
I think she would appreciate that. And Sir Jarren nods, knowing that Gortrix has to move along with the king, who's probably everywhere at this point.
We shall see what the future holds. Hey, put down the dagger!
So with that, Jarren, you get the success of the card, +1 geniality, so you're at 3 geniality for the round. Because the card's worth 1 by itself.
Yep, and you get a success.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the round. Did you guys want to do the little sync up, or did you want to just continue on to round 2 for now?
I'm fine with either. Next round I plan to do a little more snooping. But as of now we have a little bit of information, but not too much.
I'm good for either.
All right.
I think I could use a little bit. I think next round I'll be ready to meet up.
Yeah, next round.
I think Perin needs a little bit more time.
Let's do round 2 sync up at the end then. Is that okay with you then too, Zack? You good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you need a moment? Because Jarren is more disconnected from the rest, so.
No, round two is fine. I was more preoccupied on Sir Kane put on his damn jester hat, and now things are serious.
All right. I realize it's a royal feast. He's got to be here as the jester. So
Gotta be in the vibe. I love him.
There we go. Let us go to Sir Perin again for round 2.
Sir Perin again. Okay, so here is the next thing that Perin would like to do. Who in the surrounding areas outside of Salisbury, probably Summerland, who's the most well equipped for things like, I don't know, raiding? What's the area directly to our north, too?
The area directly to your north is Gentian.
Gentian.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of that one?
It is an open county. It doesn't have a count. It's so most of I'm just gonna do this because I've done this a little bit as a lesson, and I'm kind of learning it more as I go, just by looking at all the books and trying to map out who this is. So
yeah,
there's the Duchy of Cornwall, the Kingdom of Cornwall. So the Duchy is part of Logres. Everything in green is part of Logres, which is Uther's lands, right?
Yeah.
There is the Duchy of the Vale, run by Ulfius.
Yeah.
There is the Duchy of the March.
Yeah.
There is the Duchy... Oh, no. Sorry. I had it wrong here. This is the Duchy of Glevum. Duchy of Glevum is this one.
That's the badass guy. I don't want to fuck with that guy. I don't want him to know that I exist.
The guy who survived the friggin' Knight of Long Knives
by fighting with a table leg.
30 kills with a table leg. Yeah, I don't want to fuck with that guy. Anybody but him, please.
My kind of guy.
And then there's the Duchy of Lindsey, or Linden, as it is up here. So that's most of the land. Those lands that aren't there, there's only a couple of counts. So there's a count up in Bedegrin, even though it's part of a duchy, right?
Right.
I
remember that.
There's a count of Salisbury, obviously. There's a count of Summerland, and then most of the lands are divided up from there into all this middle land up here is divided up primarily into different baronies, different estates.
Okay. Okay, that's probably the best bet then for doing stuff and not pissing off a potential ally later on then. What's south of us? Dorset here.
Dorset is another like independent county as well.
Independent county.
Yeah, it might.
Okay, well then.
It might actually be. I want to say that Dorset might actually be part of, owned by. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's all owned by them. I think it's another divided up, right? But you might have the dukes, for example, the Duke of Linden way up here, has has a castle in Hantone, right?
Right, so you got little stuff kind of spread around too.
Pomponia
Okay.
was in Caerwent. She has the only remaining thing she has left is a manor in Silchester, right? So it's just kind of
Okay,
out of
cool.
curiosity-
So
Oh, go ahead.
no, by all means, Mark.
I was just going to ask, what is basically East Saxon was originally a duchy that was then taken over. Is that correct?
no. Well, the Saxon Shore was a duchy, yep, under Duke Lucius.
Yeah.
The little boy
That's
who got his
right.
head rolled.
That's right. We haven't gotten a replacement for that guy yet. That kid yet.
Little bastard becoming a knight at what, 5?
Yeah, and it was more like they were replacing an old dead duke by finding his lineage and trying to prop him up, right, to become the
Right.
the
It was
future.
kind of related to that Duke, the old one.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Betrayal.
So-
Just great.
Question then about okay, so here's what I'd like to do for my action this turn then. I would like to check out see what the word is on the 2 counties that are directly north and south of us and see if they're good targets for raiding. Basically what the vibe is, what the defenses are like, how wealthy they are. That's the main
Okay, so you're
goal.
looking for Salisbury's ability to raid these other areas. Is that kind of the idea? Is that
Correct.
Yeah.
Per my last conversation with Count Roderick, Perin has accepted that as a unsanctioned sanction, so he's taking steps to making sure that Salisbury has as much wealth as possible for defenses.
okay?
That is the vibe.
You can do an intrigue test if you'd want.
Oh, you sing sweet music to my ears. And I have 3 geniality now, yes?
Yeah, you get to
Yep.
apply them. Yep.
Hell yes. I cannot fail. That's a 16 out of 20.
Okay. You know that in general, both are targets that would be reasonable. The one to the south sees more coastal raiding than the one to the north. So the north might be, if you're looking for an alibi, aka, you know, it could have been Saxons, it could have been anyone, Dorset would be your better target to the south. But if you want a means of rolling up unexpected, Salisbury has a lot of forest land to the north, like Shoot Forest and all that land that you know of. Make it really easy to pass into Gentian, rob them of their horses and cattle, and
then
come
be
back.
gone into the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet they'd have more resources with less of the coastal raiding.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, so which of those 2 do you think would have the best resources for us?
Well, yeah. So what you gather is probably Gentian would be the better target.
The better resource target. Okay, cool, perfect.
Typically not, but
that's
given
good for me then.
Dorset was close to some mild rating last year.
Yeah,
because
so they might have had
Hantone-
better stuff a while ago, but now the Saxons have them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good to know. Thank you.
Awesome.
Give me my geniality, sir. I want it. I want that slurp, 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 slurp. Yes, good. Tasty cockatrice.
Oh God. Where did you just
have to
went?
phrase
Just
it
went
that
downhill
way.
quick. Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
Is this pork or chicken?
Amaranth's
Yes!
streaming right now. We gotta compete with her, you know?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to Edrich then for round 2.
All right. So,
Well, we should. One thing I forgot to say with Liam's round 2. Let's see if we can keep it to about 10 minutes around maximum kind of thing. So.
I can keep track of that. I'll
Sorry,
keep track
not
of that.
round per person's action. That
Per
involves,
person's action,
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Sir Edrich would like to, if possible, do his best to get the bearing of how the king is feeling. The king and the prince, if possible, because he knows a lot of people have been brought here, likely for alliance purposes, likely for charting the course for the next stage of action. But last time he saw Uther, Uther was out of his gourd. And Prince Madoc isn't looking that great. So how are they feeling? Are they fine?
Everything's fine.
How goes the House of Pendragon?
Hey, yeah, give me a test.
Alrighty. Edrich is going to do the classic Winterbourne swoop.
Let's see that swoop.
Ooh, failure. Very close to a fumble and equally close to a crit.
Wait,
Alright.
did you add your geniality?
I did add my geniality. I just had one.
Oh,
That's that thing where it's like, oh, that failure costs you the thing. So,
Yeah. If I had succeeded in flirting, I would have an entirely different problem. And that would be Edrich noticing that someone flirted with him.
but you would have succeeded.
But I would have succeeded. I would have gotten a critical. As it is a failure. Edrich's good at his job, but sometimes it's really hard.
you know what'd be fun? I was just thinking to add a little dramatic tension. Would it have been Violet that you talked to?
Oh, certainly.
Because you had a little bit of like an intrigue relationship. I know more Gorlo, or not Gorlo. Goratrix had a closer relationship with her, but she,
Yeah.
I think in those
But
early
Edric's
sort of
got a
victory
working
episodes.
relationship with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you talk to her. Well, maybe let's just roleplay this out real briefly.
Edrich swoops up. Lady Violet is the wife of Sir Brassius, is she not?
Yes.
Indeed. Lady Violet. It is good to see you on this day.
Sir Edrich.
I trust the events of the past year did not drain you overmuch.
Which ones?
There were many, and I was involved in some. The war with Cornwall and other events are mostly what I'm referring to. Were you well?
Do you say where are we well, or do you say what did you say there? I missed
Are
that.
you well?
Are you
Are
well?
you well?
Well enough, Sir Edrich. It seems that my husband has landed a formidable position, prestigious one, and for that I'm grateful.
That he has.
You're noticing
Or
a little bit of
is he?
coldness coming from her towards you.
I was absolutely going to kill her husband, and I still plan on it at some point. Lady Violet, I realize the positions of court have changed recently. Some vacancies, some additions. And he nods towards the increasing amount of kings in the room. You would have experienced firsthand the priorities of the king. I wonder, you spend more time with him than I. Has he calmed?
It's hard to say, truly. Sir Brastius... She wouldn't say Sir Brastius. She would just say Brastius said that there was a conversation between the two once Brastius had accepted his new role. The king was drunk. But there was a moment where the king grieved. Gorlois, not pretended to, truly grieved. I don't understand what guilt he might be facing. But it does not seem to slow down his ambition. He seems less furious without a target. Though one might say that he's simply changing targets now. The Centurion King truly brought him ire.
Yes, I can imagine. I heard tale of that through my brother, and I must say, when I had the letter read to me, I could not help but wince. It does seem that a new target will be chosen soon, but it is, in a strange way, relieving to hear that His Majesty feels as he does regarding what needed to be done. Regarding what was done, Edrich noticeably amends his statement.
She nods.
Still, I realize it is hard to say. And with that, I will not take any more of your time. Do send Sir Brastius my regards.
Do enjoy the feast. She smiles.
You as well. Swoop! That was an annoying failure.
Yeah. Okay. Where's Madoc on this? Where'd he go? He disappeared.
You haven't labeled him, but he's next to King Uther.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the Phantom Shield.
Yes, the hovering shield.
That's the invisible assassin that's waiting.
Welcome,
Right next to Goratrix.
Okay, so I've got the coat of arms all mixed up because this should be Goratrix's. This should that's what that is. They have a duel because there's two of them. A duo. Okay, never mind. I figured it out. Okay, sorry, that was weighing on me just looking at it. I couldn't get past it. Alright, so Edrich, you still end up with a geniality for that.
Yes, just from being near the salt. It's not a great feat for geniality.
Yeah, you got a hint of some things. I think the failure indicates that you don't pick up anything about Madoc. There's not enough openness in the conversation to continue it any further.
Look, Edrich smells like he's gonna murder someone all the time. The fact that she got it right this time means nothing.
He smells like murder. You can smell it on him.
Right? He's no longer the captain of the guard of the Duke of Cornwall. He is the captain of the guard, the royal captain of the guard.
He'll still bleed.
Is he the royal captain of the guard or the captain of the royal guard?
Yes, that's right. Captain.
Or is he the royal captain of the royal guard?
What if he was royalty and also captain? What would happen then? All right, there we go.
I'm the royal captain of the royal guard.
Yeah.
Royal.
This is turning into Monty Python real quick. We're gonna go to Jarren next. Or Florence, sorry. Florence next.
So Florence is going to acquaint himself once again with our Earl. Earl Rhodri. And he's going to attempt to, through schmoozing and a bit of intrigue, attempt to lift up the Earl's mood, which I imagine is down, because it always is. But it might not be. So how's he currently doing?
Well, you'd have to find out.
Well, let's go find out.
Yeah.
So Florence will approach the Earl.
Okay.
With Morgause at his side, paying attention to what he does next.
All right.
Learned student.
You find your Earl Roderick, who has been renamed. He is now the Earl of Salisbury, not the Count, despite it saying Count of Salisbury.
And can I get an impression of his mood at the current moment?
That is what the intrigue test will be for.
All right. I am going to activate my loyalty law passion.
Give her. Let's see what happens.
Let's go. I've recently upgraded this by 2 points, so let's see. Didn't need to. I'm good.
Now test intrigue with your
intrigue
geniality.
5 plus 2.
Plus 7 total.
Plus 7 total.
I like the geniality counters because I can actually keep track of your genealogies too.
Yeah.
While we're running things.
Success.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
He looks oddly well-spirited, more than you're used to seeing Roderick. Like he's partaking in a little bit of wine. He's a little bit more cheery. You even see it like a partial smile on him. He's slapping the back of Sir Amig and Sir Elad, Elad and Sir Amig.
All right. I think in which case Florence is just going to interpose himself into this whole thing and pretend he was there the whole time. Your Grace, you're looking in fine spirit. I take it you're enjoying the festivities so far?
Indeed. Sir Florence. How can I help you?
Oh, my lord, there's no things for such here. I'm simply here to, well, as the rest of us, enjoy ourselves in this celebration. And of course, ensure that you're having a good time as well. You are, after all, the one I've sworn loyalty to.
I am indeed. I'm looking forward to returning home soon.
Won't that be great?
Yes, indeed. I was able to visit back at the Rock during the fall of last year. I've yet to return since.
Well then, we better make sure we have a proper celebration to herald our arrival.
Indeed. He raises his glass. To a well-regarded future.
To the future of Salisbury. And the future of our great and mighty Earl. As he rises his glass.
Yeah. So your entry here, when you say to the future of Salisbury, there's like a glint in his eye. He senses a sense of proudness in him. You can't really quite place what it is, but he seems very happy.
There's something going on. I've got my suspicion. Indeed. To our future. I think with that, Florence will just spend the time powling it up with the Earl and Earl's close associates.
Indeed. And because you pass this, I'll give you one additional piece of info. So he points his goblet out in a particular direction. He says, "Do you know who that one is?"
I believe he is an Irish king of some sort.
No, that one is from Escavalon.
Ah, Scotland, my lord.
Indeed. King Nantiliad.
Nantiliad. Interesting. Well, he's come quite a long way.
It's been some time since anyone has been out that way. I believe your late brother fought in the battle out in Estergales. Battle against the Irish.
Ah, yes. Indeed.
It will be good to have more presence and interaction with Cambria, it being so close to us and all. My hope is that the king is more successful in establishing relationships with those that are willing to treat with us.
Well, from what I hear, that's a decent possibility.
All right. With that, he says, "You'll have to excuse me, Sir Florence. I should get back to things, but I wish you and your family the best. And about that estate, I believe the king is to announce it amongst his announcements this day."
I see. Well, I appreciate the heads up, my lord. I shall see you, well, I imagine on our march back home. Till then.
Until then. Actually, he says, actually, I'll be returning home a bit early with a small retinue. A couple of matters of business back home. But we will see you by Christmas, I'm sure.
Indeed. I shall look forward to it.
All right. With that, we're going to go to our last person of the round, which is Sir Jarren.
Also, I believe I get 3 because I also have more ghosts at my side.
Oh, yes,
Yep.
that's right.
I have a question. So,
oh, I was on
what-
mic. I'm sorry.
Hail, sneezer. You unmuted to sneeze.
What would I need to roll something, or would it be given knowledge? I mean, since Jarren's been out of the loop on a lot of things. Well, I guess first question: how out of place does the only token without a green border? How out of place is Ozlaf at this feast?
I think we established that she is size 17, did we not?
Yeah,
Does
size
she-
17 sounds about right.
Yeah.
So does she seem like a Saxon? Jarren's gotten very familiar with Saxons
Yes.
in all the wrong ways.
Yes, quite clearly. And furthermore, you can make a heraldry roll with plus 10. Plus 10 probably for Jarren.
Do I add my geniality?
Yes, you can.
All right. Got that.
All right. So you see that she is donning the coat of arms of Winterbourne Stoke. No, she wouldn't be. That's wrong. You see her standing in a retinue of those bearing the tapestry of Winterbourne Stoke. You had heard rumors that the Edrich. Well, you heard the bad rumors about Edrich and something about a Saxon lover. Then you heard that he had a Saxon hostage released to him by the king. Strange way to trade a
Right.
hostage to bring them out to a feast with you at this thing.
Yeah. So Jarren has many questions and always regretting he doesn't have his sword with him at these things. So he's going to approach her.
Okay.
It is the retinue of Winterbourne Stoke people. Are they like getting in the way, or are they just making sure she doesn't like kill everybody? As
I think
Saxons
these are
do?
primarily. She probably has a very crafty handmaiden attached to her because she doesn't know the culture. So there is a. We'll
There's
say
a crafty
like,
handmaid and probably Edrich Squire.
yeah, that's about it. Who is Edrich Squire? You guys get Squire. Make sure they're
We
updated
do,
by
yeah.
year, by the way. On your sheets.
His squire is currently Derwin of Silchester, a very energetic and loyal squire whose skill is 8 at singing.
Are they 17 this year?
Yep.
They
Yeah.
would be.
So Jarren's going to approach, and he doesn't look like the happiest camper at the best of times, but it's kind of clear on his face as he stops in front of the table that perhaps she's sitting at, and kind of just looks at her, and then moves around the table to find a seat next to her.
She raises a brow, but then like as you go to approach, she nods for like in an uncomfortable way and kind of looks to her handmaiden to make sure she hasn't screwed anything up yet.
As Sir Jarren takes a seat, he turns to her and says, I am quite confused at some of the things that I've heard. I've been away for quite a while on the Eastern Front. I am Sir Jarren of Newton Manor.
She says, I'm Oslav. I'm just making sure I got the right one. She was Eosa's, yes? Of Nolhot, or Dira. One of those two. She says the appropriate one.
It was Dira.
Dira, yeah.
A deer? Where's
Dira.
the deer again? Is that...
Dira. Dira is
Dira.
the place. Remember when you were up with Merlin in the mist and the Saxons came from east up north in Malahut? Right. Dira is the Saxon shore there, effectively. This.
Okay. Yeah. So...
and the handmaiden winces a little bit at that.
Yeah, Sir Jarren's expression gets a bit more dire as he looks towards his hands for a second. A Saxon, then, and not of Baroque.
No. Though I'm certain if we look far enough back, we probably have very distant family amongst those who live in Berwick.
Quite distant. I know many from Baroque. So the rumors I've heard that you are connected to Sir Edrich. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, she nods.
How did this happen?
She nods. The rumors you have heard. Have you...
You should just start from the beginning, I suppose.
She nods. Well, first, I took him prisoner, and then he took me prisoner. And now, we are to be married.
He seems a bit stunned by these pieces of puzzle that don't fit together at all.
No.
How did any of this happen married, you say? Sir Edrich, the one over there? And he points across the hall.
You just see him glaring daggers into someone on the other side of the room.
Yeah, not paying any, not noticing this. Yeah. She says, well, it's quite a long story. Winterbourne Stoke had a captive from many years back, a Saxon lord that they held. Well, she looks to her handmaiden and she says a word, and the handmaiden says something back in Saxon, in her own language, in her own tongue, and she says, "It would be like a banneret or landed knight, I guess." When Edrich was taken captive in battle, communications were sent north that a valuable knight had been taken. A trade was made, and Edrich was taken north to be held in captivity for either execution or ransom by my cousin, Eosa.
Eosa. This is a name I know quite well.
She nods. Eosa chose not to kill, to execute Edrich, and left him with me to be his caretaker. When a ransom was given by Winterbourne Stoke and a trade was made for the captives, Edrich was released. Later, we met at the Battle of Lindenpool. She kind of looks to the handmaiden like she's saying that right. Where both Eosa and Octa were taken captive. With our surrendering, I was taken by the king, and if I understand the rumors correctly, Sir Edrich negotiated for my captivity to be in Winterbourne Stoke rather than in Londinium.
And it takes a long second
Yeah.
to look for the right words. And do you know why Sir Edrich would do such a thing for someone who held him captive?
She pauses, like she's kind of a bit shy, so she kind of blushes at this and then says something in a bit of a whisper in Saxon to her handmaiden, and her handmaiden, who we shall name because at this point she's
every time she does the Saxon language to the handmaiden, there's like a little twitch in Jarren's face.
Right. So give me a sec here. Let me see.
Like
Nest.
Just
her name is Nest, and she is a Barrack Saxon. So Nest will step forward and say, "You must forgive her. She is still learning the full details of our language. If I understand things well, Sir Jarren of Newton Manor, the two have fallen in love with one another."
just a slow blink. Through captivity for both of them, this has happened. Kind of looks down at the table, shakes his head.
There goes
Well,
the neighborhood.
I'll have to have a few words with Sir Edrich, just to make sure I understand all of this.
All right.
And he's going to like stand up from the chair and like take a step away before he realizes he hasn't like said anything goodbye, and he just turns and his mouth's open to say goodbye, and he just shuts it closed, and he gives a firm nod as he twists back around and abruptly leaves the conversation because he is very frustrated and confused.
Could have gone worse.
Okay, so that's interesting. That was fun, especially when you lay it out, like how it's like. Let's see. So you were taken captive by the person that killed a family friend of yours, and then they took you captive in turn.
By a person who defeated both you in combat and your family member.
Yeah. Jarren has theories. We'll see here when we get together.
All right. Well, speaking of that, it's the end of round 2, so we talked about bringing everyone together. Now, I will give you guys the option. I can have Uther make his announcements first, or you guys can go first.
I I say we have enough to discuss to begin with.
Okay.
Unless anyone says otherwise, I say
You're on
we
mute.
discuss things and then the announcement.
But what if Uther says something that pisses me off, though? What if we do that? What
He's
if-
gonna. He's gonna. I'm definitely fine with having the announcements before as well. So we have even more things.
Any thoughts from Mark?
I'm sorting out a bit of a technical issue on my end, but
Either
no,
or.
it seems like a good plan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for either, honestly. So
All right. In that case, let's have the announcements first.
Thank you, Thomas. Giving me more fuel for my rage and vengeance.
I love your rage and vengeance, man.
Aw.
There's nothing Edrich likes more than his friends getting angry about things, unless they're getting angry at his family or Uther.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
With that, King Uther rises, his cup in hand. A kind of forced smile on his face, which more looks like he's sneering than smiling.
It looks like he's about to bite us.
Nobles of the realm, knights, ladies, kings, I bring you here this day for good news and to celebrate future alliances. First, I would like to announce that the Queen is away because this land has another heir on the way. And with that, there's like a forest, like applaud, but it's awkward.
Yeah.
Mark, do you need a minute?
No, I fixed it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had a weird thing with my Discord where I heard everything in double.
Oh,
That's rough.
no.
Ooh.
Oh, that would kill me.
I thought
would-
I thought it was the Twitch because it was open, and then I paused it and I muted it. I'm like,
Oh, it's not the Twitch.
and I spent like fucking the last 25 minutes scouring my computer to find out what it was. But it's all fixed now.
Oh, buddy.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, because you have two people that are like actually trained troubleshooters here that if we go to break, we can help you out. All right,
Edrich
so
joins in, forced applause, kind of grimacing. It's a smile.
yeah, so the king had just
Well.
announced, Mark, that that a future heir, another heir, is to be born for this realm,
Florence applauds, as he is to do.
which is a bold statement because the gender is not known yet. The sex of the baby actually is not known.
It's a coin flip, really.
Uther's a bet man. With that, he says, I would like to announce, in turn, my promises made due, and offer a raised glass to the Knights of the Sword. May each of them find the promises offered prior to their satisfaction. Sir Florence, your marriage to the Baroness has seen fit for me to move forward. In consideration with the dividing of these lands, you will be taking over the estate known as Axe, right here in the Duchy of Cornwall, in the county of Ascalon. With this, and your marriage to a Baroness, I formally raise you Baron Florence.
Florence gives a deep and mighty bow towards this.
Here, here.
This applause, not forced at all.
Sir Edrich, the news I bring next is one of marriage. For I have 2 wonderful stepdaughters that are to be wed this year. Morgause will be married to King Lot of Lothian. And then, I just want to make sure.
Oh no.
Specifically, Edrich brought you up.
That's why would he do that? That's so
Why would
strange.
you do that at all in a public place?
The next he goes to is this guy. Emotions. In turn, King Nentres? King Nentres is to be wed to my stepdaughter Elaine.
You hear under his breath, oh, thank God.
You hear Perin under his breath go, "Oh, thank God."
You hear Florence under his breath go, "Oh no."
And Nentres, he announces King Nentres of Gorlois. Yeah. Which you would know is, would you know? I will allow you all folklore test with your geniality to see if you know these places.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Oh,
You guys got good rolls there.
Yeah, man. Dude, I love that I have
We all
1,
thought the same
Florence has
thing.
2, and Jarren has 3. That's very funny to me.
Indeed.
Edrich missed those parts of the study.
Yeah. Look, I studied the blade and sneakery. That's all I need.
Sneakery.
While you were gone, I studied the blade. Yeah.
While you were having premarital sex and marital sex, I studied the blade.
You know, not far off the truth.
So Garloth is a kingdom to the northeast coast, basically. Again, a northern kingdom. And then Lothian is effectively beyond the wall, I want to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it's beyond Hadrian's Wall would be Lothian. Scotland.
It's where the Scots are.
Yeah, so that's what you have for now. With that, Uther says, with this, I hope to bring alliances with those noble and honorable and heroic kings. May we see a future where all kings who are villainous and criminal, should they meet their end appropriately.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, yeah. Edrich says that with less enthusiasm. That's the King of Malahut. Alright, so I love how Perin, or rather Liam and Thomas's head went to the same thing, and he went, Edrich, I speak news of marriage. And then he started going through the list of daughters. Oh, Jesus Christ, I would have died. They would have stabbed me in my sleep.
Yeah. Bummer.
Uther kind of finishes, he raises a glass, he says, to a kingdom undivided, and the returned health of my son, Prince Madoc.
To the king, to the prince.
To the prince.
To the kingdom.
All right.
I
With
love you
that,
just got the barometer of loyalties.
You got the whole spectrum right there.
Yep.
all right. We're gonna go with that. We'll go to the group of you together before we begin round 3. So
I will say,
I think it's the moment where Perin maybe has some reason to leave the high table and go interact, and so we can have all 4 of you here.
Go and visit. Go and visit with his friends. I think as Perrin makes his way down, he kind of stumbles over and he goes, "Hello,
are you all right,
friends."
Sir Perin? You seem to
Boy.
have been fighting in many battles.
You seem in good spirits, my friend.
I'm doing just fine. I'm busy now. You know, would you believe that I actually thought that sitting above the salt would be less work for me? Turns out I'm just more active up there now.
I could have told you that. But I will say this. Congratulations, Lord Florence.
Really?
Yes.
I hadn't noticed.
A Baron.
Indeed.
Well, go ahead, Zack. Sorry.
Sir Jarren, I'm gonna say he kind of comes into the scene, hearing a bit of that, and comes in and says, "A Baron, Sir Florence. Wow, I didn't know so much was going on over on this side of the island."
I think you'll find that's Lord Florence to you, Sir Knight. He says with a big grin.
He smiles as well. He says, "Well, it's good to see fellow Knights of the Sword of Destiny. It's been so long, actually. Feels like years." And he kind of breathes a bit heavy. Now with all this business off to the west has been dealt with, right? We can get back to the east. It's the real
One
war.
can only hope.
I wouldn't say so quickly.
Uther's, and I do hope all here will forgive my words, preoccupation with Cornwall now over. Ideally, we can move towards other threats, those that prey on more innocent life.
Exactly, Edrich. And he turns and points at a Saxon woman across the hall.
Oh, yes.
What is this that I hear? What? I need to understand. I deeply need to. Now, you see, I have been to the Summerlands recently, and I have met a witch, and I know they can bewitch things. So I am worried for you.
Despite perhaps words of Duke Gorlois, I have not been bewitched by anything. Not by the sword of Uther, and not by Oslaf. Oslaf is my wife-to-be. We met when I was injured, captured, and she was kind in moments where she need not have been. I felt a connection.
I think I might be able to explain this a little better. You see,
Oh,
Sir
God.
Jarren, when a man and woman love each other very much,
We haven't quite gotten to that stage yet. I have been quite busy. But I feel I do love her, and I can only hope she loves me. I sued for mercy from the king, and Sir Perin arranged, let us say, a transfer of prisoners. I love her, and I have already fought a duel with someone in regards to this matter. And I understand you are looking out for my best interests. She is a good woman. And I hope that your confusion in regards to this matter is not against her, but rather the situation as a whole.
I will say,
Go ahead.
Sorry. I will say, Sir Jarren, if it helps. I've gotten to know her a little bit over the time, and I even helped face her in battle. She's a fine woman. Not just for a Saxon, but for a woman. I hope that word will have some measure of stock for you.
And hopefully soon enough she'll be a Christian.
One can only hope.
Perhaps.
Sir Jarren, it was out of a place of concern. You could tell on his face he doesn't hide his emotions very well, but his eyes kind of narrow as he's judging the words. He takes another glance over to Oslap, and then I see. I must admit it will take me some time, and I will do my own investigations to make sure.
It means a great deal. Oh, forgive me.
Go ahead.
It means a great deal that despite, well, everyone's history with Saxons, that you are as understanding as you are. I will say this to the three of you, and particularly you, Jarren, for I feel our bond is strong despite we have not fought together as often. But I feel the three of you are the greatest knights I've known, and the best comrades in arms. I thank you for asking in regards to this, and I thank you for not getting as mad as one can.
Jarren has a small smirk. I suppose she must be something then, to have ensnared a knight of the sort of destiny, but in a good way, a good ensnare. He like tastes the words, like it doesn't taste very well to him, but you know.
He is formidable and good. There was another thing that I wanted to mention. Part of it was, indeed, that the king's announcement gave reason for a number of the other kings and well-landed nobles in the land. One of them was to marry off his stepdaughters. I felt a chill run down my spine as I said it. In any case. And another was to angle towards war with perhaps the King of Malahut. I cannot imagine the war with Saxony is too far off, however. I tried to get more details about the king's influence, but the Lady Violet was under the impression that I had tried to murder her husband multiple times and will continue to do so. I can't imagine why.
I think it's more likely the king is far more interested in attempting to grab the High Crown.
If he does not fight the Saxons, there will be no land.
Yes, but he is a prideful man. Sometimes, yes, sometimes that might mean not choosing the most optimal choice in achieving his goals.
He's been slighted. He'll correct it, above all else. So, it's important for us to try to take what precautions we can. I heard that the two of you built fortifications?
I did. That's correct.
You
But
did?
before we discuss
How did
business
you know?
further... Yes, speaking of which, I've got no spies in my employ. I know, because I only have 2 people. Everyone else has died. My mother has been crippled over the winter because I was not there. I've got no staff.
I've been twice a month sending my household knight, whose name I'm forgetting. It starts with a C.
Sir Rutabaga,
Char-
I think was his name.
Chernog.
That's not the thing. Okay.
Chernog. I've been sending Sir Chernog twice a month to go and run by the outskirts of your manors, just to see how things are, if your homes are burning and whatnot. Call it paranoia, but I've seen the walls being put up and the moats being dug. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, out of character? Yes, okay.
Well, if we must be subject to scouting parties, it is good that it is a friend who sends them. Additionally,
Jarren. Sorry.
Pardon me. I
My bad.
would just like to say one more thing. I spoke of my desire to, well, let us say my actions to kill Sir Brassius earlier, Sir Jarren, and I would like to extend my condolences for the loss of Sir Merrick. He was a good sire and a good man.
And this seems to answer a question he was about to ask. And his face gets pretty grave. I see. I was going to ask, since you were there at the battle that my uncle fell in, who perhaps he fell too. My uncle was a great knight, especially with the blade. And I'm guessing it's this Brastius then.
You would be correct. Were it, dare I say, a fair fight in the light of day, the both of them are skilled swordsmen, and indeed he was at a 1-2-3 disadvantage, but I believe Merrick could have pulled through were it not for the ambush. Were we faster?
Ambush. And he stews on the word. Is Brastius here? Actually, he's going to
Brastius
he's going
is
to
here.
look he's going to look around. Jarren's going to look around and say, is Brastius here then somewhere? I'm assuming we've made allies with the traitor Duke. He kind of screws his face up at the whole traitor Duke part, but
Perin absolutely steps in and goes, he serves Uther now. I've taken care to speak with him and Lady Violet and make sure that things were understood. I have faith that he'll serve the crown faithfully. He knows what Gorlois did was wrong.
In fact, if I believe correctly, he is the captain of the Royal Guard.
Or the Royal Captain of the Guard. Yeah.
The Royal Captain of the Royal Guard. Such a prestigious position.
It seems like there is either too few royals in there or too many.
I don't think it's enough, to be honest. But in any case, he is quite a powerful man, and a man of an important status. Whatever grudge you may bear towards him, know that he is a member of the royal court of Uther.
For now.
Quite royal. Could you perhaps point him out if he is here, just so I know how royal he is?
I don't know if I should. But at the
May I
same
roll
time,
for
I
vibe
wanna
check?
see what's happening.
Can I roll for
Edrich-
vibe check, please?
Edrich
I
does
don't-
not need to roll for vibe check.
yeah,
If you're going to roll a vibe check, it's going to hit Edrich as well.
I don't
Edrich
I don't
is going
think you need to know what's going on with Jarren. I think he's not making any attempt to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
there's no attempt.
Florence just say,
With a subtle motion of a glass, he gestures towards Sir Brassius.
don't think we should tell you, but at the same time, I kind of want to see what happens.
Sir Jarren, may I speak
Yes,
plainly to you?
of course.
Do you intend to challenge Brassius to a duel?
Yes. He kind of sighs.
That long pause was very good. Perin looks down and pinches the bridge of his nose and he goes, Jarren, I understand that I have no authority to order you to do anything. And also, If you have any respect for me as a knight or somebody who sits at Uther's table now, you will refrain from such course of action. I care very deeply for you and I want your honor to be satisfied, but I promise you, there will be no honor in that. It will only make things worse. I have no doubt that you'd win such a contest, but I need you to trust me in that that is the incorrect way to go about this. I will find you a way. I promise. You have
Currently,
my
a
word.
duel will result in a loss of status, which will be difficult to claw back. But it will not be a shield there forever. Chaos will come.
So Jarren, his head kind of turns back and forth from staring daggers at Rastius across the hall and then back to Sir Perin. And then certain words whispered from Edrich. He turns to Perin and gives a slow nod. I perhaps then, not a duel, but these times are getting quite dire. Saxons always invading, fended off a few from the east, or even attacking the south through the riverways. Very dangerous these days.
I don't like where this line of conversation is going.
Neither do I.
I will say this. There have been many lines of questioning and conversation with you, Sir Perin. I have said nothing, despite it leaning towards the, shall we say, politically disadvantageous. Everyone can harbor thoughts within their heads and in their hearts. What matters is the deed. The deed isn't being done now.
You're right, of course, Edrich. I forget myself. Still, allow me to give me a month. I think I'll find something for you, Jarren. Something that'll satisfy your honor and won't have to result in a messy loss of life or status for anybody.
The other option is just to simply have a conversation with the man. Air out your grievances with words, not steel.
You can do that?
there's clearly a look on Perin's face like, oh, so you mean sword fight him anyway? Talk for a little bit and then sword fight him anyway. Great. Yeah, love that.
Too often do knights jump to their steel when they should use their word. You'd be surprised how many situations can simply be solved by a pleasant conversation.
Right. I'm sure many problems can be solved in such ways, but after spending much time around, in and around battle, sometimes it does come to sword. I'll try words first, though.
That's all I can ask.
I'm trying to remember that Captain Hammer line. It was something like, the only whatever for diplomacy is this fist. But with a pen in it.
Pen in it.
Yeah.
So I can sign it. But yes, that is all we can ask. I realize the conversation has gotten, let us say, less than pleasant and somewhat awkward in this time of festivities.
I know.
And I cannot help but feel like I should apologize for some reason. In any case,
I agree. We should be talking more about my fantastic promotion.
Very much so. And as I've said before, and will say again, it is well deserved.
I'm now Baron of the Axe. Though I imagine I shall keep the title of Idmiston as well. These things get complicated after a while.
Right so. I still think the king could have perhaps singled me out at a different time, rather than the whole marriage thing.
Yes, I was quite concerned for a moment there.
Yes.
I think it was his way of acknowledging publicly that he has given you permission without saying as such. As Sir Jarren has made evident, there are quite a few in this court that would probably not take well to it if it was spoken so plainly.
With the absolute respect to His Majesty, he already did that. He already did that 4 months ago. I have fought 2 duels over it.
To be honest, it was just as awkward the second time.
Did we roll
There
your
are-
dual outcome?
We didn't actually roll the duel outcome.
He's still alive, so I
Edrich is
see-
actually dead, and we're talking to his ghost.
Yeah,
the whole
Collapsed
time.
no.
onto the ground.
No,
No.
it was the first blood, so it was with Blunted.
It was a time travel ghost. We went back and killed Edrich in the past.
It just stabs Edrich in the back as he sits.
Why don't we do that real quick?
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to activate my love of family. So the name of the House of Winterbourne Stoke is not sullied.
Does he get his geniality?
Do I get my geniality to attacking him with a sword?
You may make your strike.
Critical.
Oh, he was
Yo.
apparently a skilled swordsman. But you
Pretty
seem-
skilled, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
his D6
Yes.
exploded. It was supposed to be maximum 19 unless he exploded on the 6, and he exploded on the 6.
Yeah.
So apparently there's
Well,
yeah.
he's a slightly better swordsman than me. I wish I knew that going in. Despite that, I beat him.
Yep.
You didn't, right?
I forget his name, but we had it from last time. So I guess as I had said before, there's like I think I put out ranges, didn't I, for you for how many people are in each category of that kind of sword skill. Like, you know, if you're hitting the 24, there's like I think I said there was like a handful or like 2 or something like that. So
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
moment,
I
one
have
of
it.
them is Jarren, and the other of them is this guy.
yeah, that's it. So now, obviously, someone with a 22 and a passion of plus 10, you know, is as arguably more dangerous, right? But so anyways,
Edrich is hanging on by a fucking thread. He has so many passions, and he's so insane.
let's move on to round 3 because I do want to do more than just this feast tonight. So
Yes.
let's see if we can plow through the last round very quickly, and then we're gonna take a
Absolutely.
very brief break, like a 1-minute break, and then continue again, maybe 2-minute break.
Alrighty.
Let's start with Perin, top of the round.
Perin's turn. Okay. Perin wants to go and talk to Madoc and see if he's okay. Because nobody's talked to him yet, I don't think.
We're done, yeah.
I don't know if I have a role for this yet, but we'll see what actually comes up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's probably gonna be intrigue. Honestly, is
It might
what
be
it is.
It might
you're
be
gonna-
gaming. I might try to roll gaming with him and see if that'll bring him out of his stupor a little bit. If he's got something to focus on. Is that
Yeah,
doable?
they can game. I guess there's nothing that prohibits you from gaming above the salt, right? So
I guess.
Yeah.
Perin kind of moves his way over to the other side of the table and sits down next to Madoc while whoever is up there is up, you know, and he goes, how's the scar? You feeling all right?
sorry. He looks up. Oh, Sir Perin.
Hi, Madoc, Prince Madoc. How are you feeling? I'm sure you're tired of hearing that, but still, I haven't heard it yet, so.
They say I'm lucky to be alive. Whoever that healer was performed what sounds like a miracle.
That's what Virgil told me, yes. But that is not what I asked. How are you feeling? I've got an idea. Let's play some dice. I'm sure
He nods.
whatever's proper up here might allow for a little bit of dalliancy. Is that the right word? Dalliancy here.
So I'm going to station it like this. It's more the semantics of what's being employed. So if the goal is to get anything out of Madoc, that's going to be intrigue. You can do that over gaming, but if your goal is to cheer him up by distracting him, then that's just purely a gaming role. Okay.
It's purely a gaming role then.
Okay.
He as they play, he continues to talk and he goes, "Did you know that I still feel my fingers occasionally? It's
You
not
mean
often,
the ones that are
but
missing?
It's not often, but they itch. It's a slight throbbing sensation. It's uncomfortable and a reminder of what I don't have anymore."
You see his eyes look over to the king for a moment, and he looks back. Yes.
There's a great many things that are lost in battle. Some people lose their shields, their swords, even their honor. It's a difficult thing to lose something that you feel you can't get back.
Apparently he's really good at gaming somehow.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm not certain. The feeling in my arm remains absent. The use of my arm remains absent. I don't know what that means for a prince yet.
I didn't either. And yet, I've been on your war council for years, and I now sit at Uther's table, it being above my rank and station. But I wasn't necessarily talking about the injury. I think, Madoc, you'll find what the next stage of your life is going to be, and you'll do great things with it. Ignore all the others that offer you sympathy or look at you with pity or move on now that you're different and you can't offer the same things. Be the best you that you can be, with every tool that you have in your disposal.
He nods as like he finishes up whatever you were playing. Like he beats you at the end, and then he looks up and
Perin looks real surprised that he just lost.
uh,
How did you do that?
I spent many a years on the floor as a squire.
Well, color me impressed, my prince.
He nods. You know there will be war again soon. Likely with the Centurion King. Likely before the Saxons.
Yes, I've already begun preparing for it. It seems like I can see the next 10 years of Salisbury's course of history laid out in front of me. Can't stop it, can't change it, but I can do what I can to prepare for it. Somebody once told me recently that we are all subject to the whims of fate. We can't change its course of the mighty river, but we can find our own ways to make a difference. Something that's meaningful, if only to us.
He nods.
When you're ready, Madoc, for whatever comes next, find me. I'll be at your side.
He'll look up and give you a nod. Thanks, friend.
Of course, Madoc. Well,
With that. All right.
how much do I owe you?
This is. In a smirk, he says, "I do not wager with petty landed nobles."
Ah, you wound me, my prince. Oh well, better to be wounded in pride than wounded in wallet.
Indeed.
And Perin, we'll play another round, but we can move on.
Yeah. And you can do the quick roll if you want.
Oh, thank God. I need to redeem myself. God damn it.
I know.
Oh, he did it again!
No. Hold on. I rolled 4. I didn't roll that time. I was just trying to type real fast and fucked it up. Hold on.
Okay.
Uh,
No, he fumbles. So
He fumbled!
Big time.
I played poorly, but I played not as poorly as you, punk.
he rage quits. Yeah.
flips the table.
Yeah.
Night
Flip
even
Hey.
worse.
You
Oh,
know what
mean
it
he
is?
you mean he tries to flip the table? Come on.
You know what it is? It's he knocks his goblet with his hand and then tries to reach for it with the hand that doesn't work and watches it spill out over things, and he gets up and says excuse me, and then he gets up and leaves. Like, he just straight up leaves.
Whoops.
Well,
Well,
try and beat him.
that was going real well for a while there, and then it was really not.
I
all right,
love
cool.
fumbles. I love fumbles.
Mr. Bob, do you want me to keep time for the next couple of scenes too?
Yeah, I mean, we'll play out the ones that need the breath. If they don't seem like they need the breath, we'll try to quick summarize as much as possible.
Okay. Alrighty.
And you did fail that roll, so you get your 2 this time. So you have a total of 8. Edrich, you're out.
Alrighty. Oh, and I will say this. I have found the stat line of Sir Tarrant of Oddstock, the person I fought a duel with. His spear was 15, but it didn't say anything about his sword.
Gotcha. Apparently, he is a world-renowned
Really
swordsman.
good sword. World-renowned swordsman. I still beat him, and that's got to be good for glory. Alrighty. Can I roll romance instead of flirting for flirt?
With Oslov, you can roll romance if you want.
No, with Baroness Pomponia. Yes, please, with Oslaf.
Not with some random maid. Yeah, okay. Good
No,
call.
Not with some
everyone wants a
random
piece
lady,
of
No randos
Harms's
involved.
wife.
Okay.
Alrighty. I would like to activate my Amor Oslaf and not go insane. And I would like to roll romance.
Okay.
Get that romance on.
Hell yeah. I think if we're pressed for time, Edrich is going to go over, because she is a ways away from near the salt. They don't want Saxons over in the sea.
Exactly, and she's not your wife at this point either, so there's...
And she's not my wife at this point, yeah. So Edrich is essentially going to go over there bringing choice cuts from the roast eagle. And he's just going to share a meal with her and spend time with her. Because there are some things that are more important than other things.
Right.
Engaging in murder ideation against royal captains of the Royal Guards Royal.
Is there any detail you wanted to draw out of this, or did you want to just have it happen in the background?
I think what he does, he's actually going to say aloud some of the poem that he wrote and left in the castle while heading out to war. He's
For
essentially
her
going
ears,
to.
or in front of everybody?
Oh, for her ears.
Okay.
If anyone overhears, that's on them.
Right.
And if they want to do anything about it, they've got to square fucking up. But for her ears, he's not going to do it in front of a crowd. For all his sins, he is no Florence.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and make the roll. You did the orate, so you get the bonus plus your geniality.
Absolutely.
Plus your Amor Oslav.
Jarren's just across the room, like,
Watching. What the hell's he doing?
Okay.
what is this?
Oh, but not a
no.
not a fumble.
Not a fumble. Not a fumble.
And that is with your geniality.
That is with my geniality. Okay. I wish I didn't add it, and that was the result anyway, because it would have been a crit, and that would have been the second time.
Yeah. So it's not that it's not a fumble, so nothing drastic will happen here. I think what does happen is just when you're you chose the perfect moment, the perfect time, you're very satisfied. The Baroness interrupts without meaning to, and she is like, Sir Edrich, Oslav, now that we've had this opportunity to finally speak, I wanted to begin discussing, after the wedding arrangements, which I have volunteered to assist with, by the way. Once they are all done, we should really begin to sit down and discuss Oslav's conversion to Christianity.
What would be heard above the hubbub of the crowd is just thunk, thunk, thunk of one of the knives meant for meat going into the table. Yes, let's discuss this.
And it's a nice, boring, and long, and drawn-out project. And what you're left with by the end is you're like, I don't have that moment anymore. Like that. That
moment is gone. That moment has been murdered.
Yeah. But you are able to tuck it aside for another time. It's not like you failed to.
Not like it. Yeah, not like it was a fumble and she chokeslabs me.
More like a rain check. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, that is my turn. I technically succeeded on the romance, but I failed on the orate. So does that count as a success?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you kindly.
Because your action was the romance action, and then you were adding a little flavor to it. So yeah. You wouldn't have got a tick on orate automatically for that, right? Is how it played out. Yeah. But you did get a tick on romance.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, so Florence.
So Florence is going to do what he usually does and overstep himself. As he's going to attempt to get a conversation with King Lot.
Okay. King Lot. You're near the salt, so you're gonna need intrigue roll to get to the high table.
Let's go.
Either that or a sword roll.
Those new Baron powers he's been gifted. I am going to roll a passion. I'm going to roll my honor, because this is part of him checking out King Lot for Morgos, to make sure that she's not going to have a bad time with him. Like, he doesn't look like someone that's going to mistreat her. Because he swore that he would keep the children of Gorlois safe.
I heard eat the children with it cut out on the K for a moment.
And it doesn't matter. I failed.
Yeah.
So my honor goes down.
Yeah,
and I have a -5.
You get 25 glory.
25 glory. And
You are also in melancholy, yes.
Great. So now I gotta roll intrigue. Without my geniality. Because I lose 5. I would have gained 5. Oh boy.
Oh, look
I
at that.
succeeded!
You got it.
Yeah.
So Brastius will stand aside to Florence as he comes by. And you are able to make it to King Lot.
I think with that, Florence would step forward and go, "Greetings, Your Majesty. I take it you're enjoying the festivities that have been arranged?"
Yes, quite so. I'm not familiar with you, Sir Knight, though I saw the king motion to you.
Oh, allow me to introduce myself. I am Lord Florence of Idmiston, Baron of Axe, of this fine land of Cornwall.
Ah, the announcement. I see. Yes, Cornwall. Quite fine indeed.
Indeed. Well, King Lot, I had also heard through announcements that you yourself received a gift from the king. The hand in marriage of one Lady Morgause.
Morgause
I must say,
will make a wonderful wife.
I imagine so. She is quite a beauty after all.
Indeed.
Lady of fine tastes.
Now that you mention it, I believe she was wandering with you for a significant portion of the feast, if memory serves.
Indeed. I have been helping to acquaint her with the royal court, as I have had far more time with it than she has herself. Making sure she's well looked after and well educated in the important ways.
Lothian is a fine kingdom. She will make a great queen for it. We will have many heirs.
I suppose that is what a king ought to do.
In turn, the king will find his alliance suitable. 2 northern kings. I believe that is an appropriate price for, well, what the Centurion King has done. I find his lack of presence odd. Don't you?
I think it makes far too much sense with the most recent events.
He nods. Perhaps it does. So
But
you have a
I'm
keen
curious-
eye for such things, then?
A keener eye than most. You see, I think the key to it is being able to have people think you're one thing when you're a little bit more intelligent than they give it to you.
Perhaps so.
I mean, I am a baron now. I guess I have a heir that I need to show to the world. Something grandiose. As I'm sure you understand yourself, being a king of your own lands.
Indeed. Indeed I do. Though I will offer you one word of caution, Sir Knight. Barons rise and fall. The king can grant, and the king can take away. Do keep that in mind.
Of course. I mean, after all, you as a king should understand most the differences between our statuses.
Indeed. Though it seems you've earned a bit of favor, and if the name suggests anything, it seems you had some involvement with Excalibur. Perhaps with
Indeed.
Merlin.
It was I and my allies who managed to slay a fey beast that was guarding it, retrieving the sword for the king. With it, he will unite this land. Though I'm sure you've heard all about that.
Bits and pieces. Some news travels as far north.
See? Do you deal much with the, what are they called? The Scots, I believe? The savages to the north?
I don't think they don't have that naming.
Are they
in
not
this-
Scots yet?
No.
They're the
In that
Picts.
case, he would say the Picts.
Picts. Yeah.
The savages to the north. It doesn't change.
He eyes you a bit. They are the people there, yes. The native Kimric who cut themselves off long ago and did not grow with the rest. They are still people. I believe you have some close right here in Cornwall. Well, if memory serves, Ascalon borders on Gigant, so you will have Pix's neighbors soon.
No. I will have Christians as neighbors.
Some. Some still follow the old ways.
Indeed. Some. Tell me, Your Majesty, are you a Christian?
Hmm. That is a conversation best had at a longer time, perhaps over a glass of wine or two. I'm sure that with this new alliance being formed, we'll have the opportunity, but with you being your king's baron now.
Well, should you ever wish my company for such a thing, I would be honored.
Oh, and before you go, Sir Florence, there was one thing I was going to ask you about.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Now, do you know how far along the Queen is? How many months?
I'm afraid I do not. But I doubt it can't be much after all. The king's marriage was only quite recently.
And they say that the king died in a raid in Terrible. Or, sorry, the Duke died in a raid in Terrible, not in Tintagel?
Indeed. I saw it with my own eyes.
How odd. You see, I'm trying to piece together news that I heard. They say that the night of the Duke's death, he had joined the Duchess Igraine in her bed. Now, I know that Tintagel and Terrible are very close to each other. Why, but a few hours' ride. But even still, it seems odd that he would be pressed in fighting battle in one castle and making love to his wife in another. So, I must ask you, is this just a rumor, a silly rumor? Must be squashed? Are you aware of any such thing?
Well, as far as I can tell, it would be impossible for the Duke to be in two places at once.
And
so
if
I dare say...
If I said king anywhere there, it's just Bob messing
Yeah,
up.
it's fine.
So, yeah.
As far as I am aware, often in times of war and battle, wires, messages tend to get crossed. Sometimes dates become blurred and truth can be sorely lacking.
Indeed. Well,
However, it's possible if I do hear something later on, and we do have a drink, perhaps I might be able to discuss some things.
yes. As well, that would be quite good. And you're right. These rumors don't align, so one of them must be true and one of them must be false. Either the Duke remains alive and the queen, or sorry, and the duchess, yeah, the queen he calls her, and the queen saw her husband that night. Oh, the duke has died. And he leaves
Quite
the
a
rest.
mystery. Yeah. Quite a mystery we have on our hands, isn't it?
Indeed. I wouldn't mind finding Merlin for a further discussion. That's the king's wizard, yes?
Oh, yes. I
Half
believe
demon, they say. Son of a demon.
Yes. I believe the pagan is around here somewhere.
Forgot that was Florence. Oh, the pagan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, why don't we cut that short, Mark? Because I don't want to go
Sure,
way
that
over too
works.
far. Yeah.
That's fine.
Liam.
You know your citizenry. Savages, aren't they?
The savages.
Yes, sir. My name's Liam. What's up?
You already went. I was just going down the wrong
I did.
list. So we go to
Okay.
Jarren. Yeah. I was looking on the stream list rather than the
Okay, well, let's do some cards. Seeing as he doesn't need to duel the royal guard of the royal family royal.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so fucking glad I talked you into delaying that. Oh,
Okay.
man. Oh.
Okay, what we got? We have Lost Love. A weeping knight bemoans his lost love. Merciful versus cruel. Oh. You join him in his lament. Okay. Christian blessing. You receive a blessing. Get additional monies for winter phase. A serving girl flirts. A young serving girl flirts with you.
Tough call.
They're all quite nice.
Not bad.
Let's do Lost Love.
Now, I'm kind of happy you picked that. And Bob, this is entirely up to you. 2 winters ago, a certain household knight of Edric's, no, let's say a certain family member of Edric's, did swear off marriage forever because his love did not love him back. And it was a royal order which got him to marry. Could it be Gordrix, or it's totally fine if it's someone else to just save on time?
I think that'd be an amusing scene. I think if we can keep it about 5 minutes, it's perfect. And I'm gonna listen, but I'm also gonna step away for a sec while this is happening.
I will time it. I will time it.
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
You would see as King Uther sits upon the table and on the edge, just on the lookout for things, nursing a glass of wine, kind of like head like ever alert, but still like on the table looking around, is Gordrix, looking glum. Weeping openly, perhaps not, but there is a melancholy about him.
Okay. Interesting. So Jarren hasn't seen Gordrix like this probably ever. It's hard to tell. Either way, he walks over, looking down as his head is on the table. Sir Gordrix, I don't believe we are supposed to sleep here. Do you want another drink?
I do not sleep, but perhaps another drink would not go amiss. I confess, he says, kind of like sitting up. You could see like a little bit of food on his face, which he quickly wipes off. When you spoke of Humble Creek, it brought back memories. The lady there, the mother of that girl. I had harbored many, perhaps thoughts of. The situation was dire. Her father went mad while trying to duel me. Brother despises me. And indeed, the last time I tried to speak with her, I got stabbed. I feel that... Well, at a time I was so distraught that I swore off marriage entirely. But my cousin and my king brought me back to my senses, I suppose. Tell me, Sir Jarren, is she well?
Sir Jarren smiles and nods. She is. I've seen her not too long ago, actually. And I'm blanking on the name.
I also blank on the name.
But it's...
Give me a sec,
was-
I'll look it up.
It was
One of
one
two
or the
twins.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
A
think it would
2-minute
be
warning.
funny
Fellas.
I think it would be funny if Goratrix didn't know which one. He was like, it's one of them.
It was
Uh,
the one who wore her hair longer.
2-minute warning. Don't forget to make the roll too, because that might
That's true, yeah.
flavor how you do the rest of this.
Oh, right. Let me do that real quick.
Yes, merciful versus cruel.
Oh,
You're talking about the
both
mother?
fall-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, failure.
Not a good sign.
Cruel. Oh boy. This is wonderful.
So, okay, I need to reorganize my thoughts then.
Did you include your
So-
genealogy for the positive? Because you were welcome to if you wanted to. That would have made the difference.
Oh, I guess I didn't do that. I don't think it would have mattered.
just
Must have made the
misses.
difference. It would have been 15 versus
Yeah.
16 versus 15.
So Sir Jarren, as he's sitting there, he smiles and says, "She's doing quite well, actually. Both her and her sister. They're actually keeping it a secret. They like to keep it obfuscated as far as who the mother is of, the daughter."
Yes, I suppose that they would.
Oh, the shame, I believe.
Oh, the shame. He puts his head back on the table.
Sir Jarren nods, more matter-of-factly and not really getting the whole, this is a sensitive topic. She is quite wild, the young one. I look forward to seeing what other pots and pans and plates she tosses at the feasts. It's always funny seeing the maids chasing her around.
He has a wild heart.
30 seconds, fellas.
You see Goratrix, his massive size, larger even than Oslav, just kind of like deflate still more into the table.
And Sir Jarren gives him a pat on the back as he starts to stand up, and he says, "Well, you'll see her again. I'm sure you'll go up to visit. I mean, even I guess it would be the grandfather, I suppose, of the daughter. Anyway, I need to get back. Make sure Edrich's Saxon woman."
What?
I'm sure it's a good place to end.
Yeah, you guys are at time, so.
That's awesome. Wait, what? No one told me what?
Oh, that makes so much sense, but also, oh no.
What about an awkward wedding for that one? All right, so you get -2 geniality, right? But you get the +1 for the card and +1, so you just go out even with your
Yes.
5 here. So you're doing.
Okay.
Sorry about that. That was wonderful.
It's just the
dear.
shame is all. Yeah, just all the shame.
Yes.
It's just a shame.
All the
Oh.
shame and leaving them without their family.
Without a father, just completely just a bastard with no father. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
was-
a real shame that kid's gonna grow up with no future.
Yeah.
You know.
If only the father stepped up and
Would
like
step forward.
done their duty. Sort of- it's just like guilt trip them.
Putting himself out more of the table.
Okay, so let's close out the feast there. That is the genealogy given. For those of you, is there anyone that would absolutely not attend a mutual wedding of Lot and Margos and Nentris and Elaine? Would anyone have purposefully avoided those?
Perin doesn't support any of that shit, but he does want to watch over those kids and make sure that they're okay. So he'd absolutely want to be there.
Edrich. Oh, sorry, Mark, you're muted.
Just saying, Florence will be there as well, being a supporting role for the girl.
Edrich will be there with his companions, even though he absolutely does not want to register on the girls' radar at all. For reasons.
And Sir Jarren will go to keep his eye on two things if Osloff is there. Gotta watch out for Sir Edrich, that he's not being bewitched too heavily here. And Sir Brastius, the time is nigh. Maybe not that day, but sometime.
Sounds good. Okay, so all of you are attending, which means you all get the glory for being there. It's worth 50 glory, just that one event. So you witnessed queens being made and kings being married. So
Ooh.
on top of that, there's a very
Sorry.
interesting announcement from the king. He kind of, it's a more open event, and Uther actually gets a little deeper in the cup than normal, and like kind of in a talking like he's talking to a couple of his advisors. He starts talking openly so it's not very announcement like, and Sir Sardinal, his herald, is probably bemoaning that he's running his mouth, but the king says, there's been a lot of blood these recent years. War is not everything. It's time for families. Perhaps we'll slow down for a while. Let the land heal. All right.
I think they replaced Uther.
Oh, I pray somebody's doing some magic shit to fuck with his brain, and I hope he stays like that forever.
I give it 2 days.
I give
Okay.
it till the end of the year.
So in this case, a retinue is going to be assigned to... Oh, Florence, you're raised to Baron. There will be a glory, but it won't be applied yet anyways. So it will be a glory. You are the highest glory, so there will be... You'll be the one that others are attached to.
Okay.
You're stuck in terrible. That's funny actually when I say that. You're stuck in Castle Terrible.
Terrible.
Until such a time as the garrison is asked to be ended. So you're still in garrison duty, and you are assigned by Earl Roderick an appointment, but I have to step back. There are a couple of announcements I need to make for things you would hear in the realm. I will give you. You can either make. Did you guys all raise your diplomacy up by one? the Knights of the Sword?
I
Whether
did
Jarren
not.
do that or not, I don't know. He would.
Are we meant to be doing it every year, or is it just a
The years
that,
where you're
that we need to
acting,
put points into it?
when you're acting in formal diplomacy roles with the king and the lord, you should at least be taking it. So not when you're acting as a vassal knight, but when you're acting as a Knights of the Sword, like formal representative of the king, you're welcome to do that.
Ticket.
Yeah. In the case
So
of
Mark and I did one with the Centurion King. We all
that
did
didn't
one
count back
with...
then though. So it
didn't
started with
count back
Gorlois
then.
for it.
So
Yeah.
we're
I'm currently at 2 because I got specifically a teacher to teach me diplomacy.
I am also currently at 2 for whatever reason.
Yeah, you guys started at
Jarren
0.
doesn't diplomacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think so. Okay, so 2 announcements are made. The king and queen have had a child. They've named it Arthur.
Huh.
I'm sure this would
Roll
mean
credits.
a lot more to the old to our old characters.
Whatever. Oh,
And not important.
oh, Rip
Congratulations.
Madoc, I guess.
What? He's still the prince?
Bastard,
Not anymore. he's not the crown prince anymore.
He was. He
I-
was legit, wasn't he?
He was legitimized.
He was legitimized? I thought he was recognized.
He was legitimized because Uther had no heir otherwise.
I had no heir. So,
Oh.
those who
Doesn't
study history,
it still? Oh.
it leaves a pretender with a lot of strength towards a claim.
Yeah. Technically,
So-
they both have claims
Yeah.
on the throne of
Yeah.
Logres.
And there could be a
Oh.
lot of supporters that go, you know what, we don't like the older guy, so we'll go with the younger guy because he's the true heir. He was born from a king and queen, not from the king and some
Yeah.
bastard-like
Oh, I'm sure-
relationship.
I'm sure this won't cause any problems.
Not at all. And that's not at all. I think for Perin, that it clicks, you're like, so that's why Madoc was so off. About future, you remember him looking over at the king when
Yep.
there's a future. Yep.
Perrin totally picked up that Madoc might be having some abandonment issues right now, given the entirety of the events of last year and the events that are soon to come.
Yep. Okay, and the Earl, specifically Lady Ellen, and the Earl welcome their son Robert, the future of Salisbury.
I knew it.
Hey, congratulations.
So if you recall, they've been having a hell of a time having a child. So they have a daughter, and then they've been going through a difficult time from there.
Perrin, no, Florence knows what that's like.
Yep. Still doesn't have one.
Okay. So those are the pieces I leave you. Now we're going to set off on a little scene. I think it'd be fun for all of you being assigned here because your Earl is still assigned here to hold. Like your Earl is leading the garrison in Terrible, basically establishing that the king's presence is here to stay and be enforced should rebels arise. And for the most part, you know, aside from a little bit of banditry, some talks of raids, and perhaps a little bit of coastline raids from the Irish, there's been very little in the way of trouble. Even still, as a garrison, you're expected to go on patrols and such. And I think this is the very first patrol we get with this group since the
we
Knights
have
of the
a
Sword. Indeed.
Yeah.
So the 4 of you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Boys
look at
back
that.
in town.
Speaking of
Boys
raids,
back
we
in
just got
town.
one.
Hey!
Welcome again.
Oh
to-
no!
Yeah.
It's the Irish. They're back.
The Saxons! The Saxons
Drive
are
them back
here!
into the sea.
Woo, that's a big pile of friends. Hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Saxons. I never thought I'd say that.
All right.
Well,
So
no, it's Insomnia Knight RPG, so probably a knight of
Oh.
some kind.
Oh, it's just Civil War then. That's even better.
technically, it'd be a Knight of the Night then, if that were the case. So,
Night,
Uh,
night, if you
Night,
will.
night.
welcome, Insomnia Night, and thanks again for the raid. Appreciate it. It's good to see you. All right, so we're just setting the scene now. You find yourselves basically patrolling between the lands of Terrible and Tintagel Castle quite often. This is one of those raids. A particular night in the mid to late summer. Edrich, your wedding will be scheduled for the fall, the autumn of this year. And that will be an upcoming episode.
Good. I'll be able to go home again and see my mother for the first time since she was crippled this winter because I was unable to go home because I was stuck here.
Important part is you're not bitter about that.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all. Bitter
Alright.
feelings, Edrich? No.
Never. Okay.
Doesn't sound like him.
As you start to near maybe a few miles away from your route of getting real close to Tintagel and then reporting in and returning back, I'm gonna get well, you know what, before we call for any things, I think it would be fun for the four of you to do a little bit of like interacting, like a minute or two of riding together, because it's been a minute, right? It's been some time since
'Tis been some time, sire.
the fourth our D'Artagnan character here has joined the Three Musketeers.
Oh boy.
So
Oh, go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
So Sir Jarren was he was mid conversation. So keep an eye on my horse. I believe, as I was saying, yes, the prize horse from the king. It's still alive, though I'm not entirely sure how. In Summerland it was healed, and then, well, bewitched, I suppose, to be better after it was attacked by some fey creature, a booger or whatever it was called.
Booger.
Boggart. Do not get me started on them. One plagued my land for a good long while, turning the milk of my cows sour and having the calves be born with an inconvenient number of heads. You did well to get rid of it.
Yes, those Summerlanders are quite wily.
Ah, yes, a boggart. Yeah, that was the name. Had some interesting times. My horse here was lamed by it. Was attacking a lot of things, I suppose, but we were able to find it and kill it.
Have
But
I
then-
met anyone have I met anyone from Summerland? I
You
can't
might have met Aronwy or seen her.
Who's a Ronway?
Aronwy is, she was the dame, scar across her face.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, I do know someone from Summerland.
There was a dame? I thought it was just a
Yes.
freakish-looking knight.
In
Oh.
any case, it is good that you did that, and we shall keep an eye on your horse. I imagine this is the witch you spoke of earlier. In regards to bewitchment.
It's right. It was that one, and just keep an eye on Chargist here. I don't believe it's the same horse that I know so well before, but does some things similar, other things. I mean, look how he's looking over there. Why is he doing that?
Who can
So,
truly
Jarren.
completely deadpan, Edrich says, who can truly say what lies in the heart of a horse?
Right.
Blood, mostly.
Well, so your Royal Charger does still function, though, yes? For the last couple of years?
Oh yes, it's almost as if the Chargist doesn't have any health issues at all. It's even more suspicious to me. Rides as good as the day I was gifted him.
I will say
See.
this to you, Sir Jarren. Count your blessings. So many of mine have died and been killed. This is my last and final charger. I have one other horse, which is back at Castle Terrabil, and one back at home.
Oh, I have a
Um,
few I could lend you. In fact, I have a whole
As-
farm full of them.
I have a few I could sell you.
I would not ask for charity, and I would ask that they be made at a fair price, because there is not much cash after the advancement of the defenses in my land. Economic
Tell me about
plants and yes,
We
it
had
is
a-
an expensive process. In any
We had
case, I would say if you have a horse which is somehow imbued with extra power, I can only say that is good. Were the Fae able to reach out with overtures of peace and accepted my cake and my poem that I left out for them, then I imagine all would have had a better time.
Or if they could just accept that God, that Christ is the one true God. This in all other lands.
That
But I
too.
hence the
Amen.
cake being more a possibility.
Amen.
With that, we're gonna go with some awareness rolls.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love those. My family's okay at that.
Haha! I don't see shit.
For a brief moment, I thought oh no, that's bad.
Nope, that's not the right roll.
Lustful. What's happening?
Tell me more about this horse.
Jarren,
Tell,
that horse of yours is looking mighty fine.
tell me less about this horse. I need out of here. Uh, okay. Let's see here. So,
Gods! Knights!
I'm gonna move you over to this map. I did move you over to
Mark, do
this
you
map.
want to roll?
You did. Yep, we're already there.
Yep.
It's a good map.
Here is Terrible and Tintagel, right here. And this is your patrol route. Thanks for the raid. Welcome. I didn't actually catch the name. Damn it.
Insomnia Knights RPG, I think.
Oh. No, sorry, not the raid. The follow, I meant to say. I did.
Oh, the
I said-
follow.
Yeah. We just had a follow. It'll show up. Thank you very much. Welcome to Pendragon. All right. So as
Johnny
you near,
Sweatpants.
as you near,
It was Johnny's
Johnny Sweatpants.
Sweatpants. Sorry.
Indeed.
Johnny Sweatpants. Thank you, sir.
As you near Tintagel, you end up in a clearing. Remember, a lot of this is forested area on this road. You end up in a clearing, and you can hear noise. It sounds like a considerable bit of hustle coming in the distance. For those that succeeded, you hear distant riding and shouting. And then out of nowhere in front of you, the Merlin comes out.
Ah, Christ!
Oh, this again. Lovely. Hello, Merlin.
He looks to you both, or looks to you all, and he just kind of keeps going, and he says, "Sir Knights." He continues to like move past you. He says, "Be you knights who value justice, you will waylay those who pursue me." And with that, he continues.
Very well.
He has it looks like he has this blanket in his hand. It's completely empty, but he has his blanket in his hand. He's just holding it like this. Out.
What is pursuing you? As he calls out as Merlin keeps walking.
Edrich draws his sword.
Perin readies his lance, and he keeps riding. He goes, Jarren, if you may, we'll need you up front.
Right. Come on. And he gives a glance towards his suspicious horse as he moves forward with his sword.
Florence.
Mr. Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead first, Mark.
I was just going to say Florence grabs his spear and then kind of sighs, hoping it would be a much more peaceful endeavor on this day.
Edrich is glad for the action.
Mr. Bob. With my successful battle roll, can we set up an ambush for whoever these fellas are?
There is. So you're in a clearing. It sounds like they're riding down the road quickly because you guys have been to Tintagel, so you know what this looks like. You are in the worst spot you are in the place where one would be ambushed because you're in the clearing, right? Like,
Right.
You could try to, as quickly as you could, ride out into disperse in the forest and set up an ambush.
Seems like that's not likely to work out well for us. So maybe just park in the road right at the edge of the clearing so that they can't get around us super easily.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right.
Are we using our words first?
I will attempt to. However, let us be on guard.
What are words but a sword with an S in front of it?
Perrin's gonna give one quick glance back over his shoulder at Merlin. He had the last time he interacted with Merlin, it was very meaningful for him, and I think it's just gonna be a look to see if Merlin is looking back or if he's just going straight on.
He doesn't look, and as you look back, you see that somehow in the matter of like a few seconds, he's managed to walk the distance of this clearing. So you see him at a great distance. And even though you shouldn't be able to hear him reply, you hear the following words as he enters the forest. He says, "He made a promise, and it must be kept."
I don't doubt it.
And
Don't forget. He's just gonna say too. He's gonna go.
remember, you're at a distance where you would have to shout to speak your.
No, he's
he's
just
talking
gonna say it quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna say it quiet, and if he doesn't hear it, he doesn't hear it. But he goes, "Don't forget, I need to speak to you sometime." And he'll turn back and get ready for whatever's coming.
I don't quite understand what went on there. But
As a bit of a thing, Florence is going to wait until immediately he can see someone coming around the corner and go, "Halt! In the name of the king!" Mostly because I think it'll be hilarious for what I think is going to happen next.
Yeah. Outrides a number of knights, led by Sir Brastius.
Dangerous race.
Yeah. With them is, I'm just going to pull a couple of the people that would be here for sure. Sir Argan is here at Magalad.
That's exactly what.
And William maybe.
Oh, these are a lot of king people.
And
These are a lot of.
Gortrix.
Oh no!
Brastius says. He looks confused as he rides up to you because he knows that you report in with them in your rotation, right? Says, "Knights of Salisbury, where did the traitor go? Where is Merlin?"
Sir Brastius, the traitor? What are you doing this far in Cornwall?
We thought that Uther had just passed by here. What are you doing out here?
Sir Argan says, "Uther remains in Tintagel. We're looking for the king. We're looking for the wizard. Tell us where the traitor went."
That's much further than I.
He must have gone through here.
Isn't he the king's wizard? Why is he a traitor now?
He's taken the king's
why
son.
did you seek him? Oh, bugger.
Oh. Oh shit, when did this happen?
Oh, look at that suspicious Uther roll.
No, I'll give you guys a second to process your response here. They kind of ride out, and Sir Gwilliam, you see, he's hopped off his horse and he's starting to inspect the ground. You recall he was the one leading the tracking of Duke Gorlois when he invisibly left
Here's
London.
the thing. Edrich still has a incredibly high homage Uther, and the kidnapping of a baby is generally not good in any respect. So Edrich is going to say, unless
Wait. Yeah. I don't know if we got to roll something to see who goes first on this, because I think immediately Perin is looking at Edrich and he's going to try to speak first. And he's gonna put you guys all in a very precarious situation.
I'll let you do it because it's more dramatically appropriate.
All right, if you guys can agree, I was about to say we can roll it off. Otherwise, if you agree to the dramatics, we'll let Perin go first.
Perin is going to speak up and go, well, we haven't seen Merlin. No one has passed by us, at least. Not in the last few hours.
You see Edrich taking a breath and about to speak, and as you say that, you see him grit his teeth and look with eyes sharp as daggers, but fiercely loyal towards you as he tilts his head. That's a... Oh god, what does a fumble on arbitrary do?
I think that... Oh boy, what does that mean?
Well, he didn't pass arbitrary, so it'd be the opposite of being arbitrary.
But it's not just either, because he failed just.
Normally, if you fail both, Bob picks, but this is kind of a fancy situation.
Well, there's a difference between a failure and a fumble. I'd say the failure is actually better than the fumble.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you do here probably shouldn't quite be just, but it's not so bad. You're gonna feel guilt from feeling arbitrary about what you do. Yeah, and it's gonna be a tick to just actually because you failed arbitrary.
All right.
As weird as that sounds, it's like you're not gonna make the best move here, but you're gonna have a ton of guilt for not making
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think in which case, go ahead.
You would just see Edrich looking towards Sir Perin and going, "What did we see?" Sorry, you go.
With this, Florence would step forward and go, "Are you sure that he came down this way? Surely, as a man of magical means, he could be anywhere by now. He could simply use his sorcery to be all the way in Rome, for all we know."
The last time we chased Gorlois, he made tracks that were quite misleading. He was heading towards Summerland. Is it possible that he might have doubled back on you?
Deceitful roll, good sir.
Can I roll a passion?
Yeah.
And is there any way my suspicious Uther can help me in this?
Yep. Yeah, I don't see why.
Okay. Wonderful. How can my suspicious Uther apply here? I'm gonna roll honor as my passion because Perin thinks he knows what just happened, and for him,
your suspicious Uther will apply as a bonus to your suspicious is trusting versus. No, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it will apply. I don't think you're trusting.
Okay.
Yeah. It would apply
just
to
honor then.
What is the different? What is the paired thing with trusting? I gotta look at the sheet.
Suspicious.
Okay.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna roll honor. Hopefully, I don't fuck this up. That's a success. So I'll get a +5 to my deceitful. Oh, I need this to be better. Okay, here we go.
No.
I wish I could use intrigue.
So,
if you've ever seen a tea kettle just like kind of unable to close and just kind of building up in pressure, you kind of see Edrich as he goes, "Well, perhaps we we'd better go to look for him if he took a baby from the king.
And with that note, Brassius looks over to the Master Hunter, William. And William's kind of spent some time looking on the ground, and he looks up and he says, "If Merlin came through here, he must have used magic to disguise his tracks. I see no one." And Sir Brastius looks to Argan and says, "All right then, we ride out from here. Split up. Let's cover the north
services.
With that, Sir Argan says, "Your services will best be met in Tintagel, offering our update, Sir Knight."
Very well then.
Of course.
Good luck.
Shall let you know if we hear of anything.
All right.
And, Perin will be the first to ride off towards that direction, hoping everybody follows him.
Yeah. So they begin to split up, going every which way. A lot of them very convinced that he would make for maybe south. They're convinced in the south, but they're going to check everywhere.
Sir Jarren's mouth has just been shut the entire time, mainly staring daggers at Brastius, but as we start to ride away out of earshot, he sort of grumbles. "So,
I
I'll
second
be-
that opinion. Perin, what the fuck was that? Florence?
I'll be honest. I just reacted. I don't know what to think.
Uther went this way? We have not seen him? Perin, that is the heir to the crown."
Perin's eyes are straightforward. And as he rides, he's not looking back, but he'll speak and he'll go, "I'm sorry to put you in that position.
Perin, I will not lie. If I did not love you as I do, you would be dead.
I know. And if you see fit to turn me in when we get back to Tintagel, I would not hold it against you."
What kind of talk is that? Of course I'm not. Did you not hear me as I speak? My loyalty is to you and to the king, and you see how annoying this gets. Explain yourself.
I knew that your loyalties were split, and I knew that putting you in that position could favor me. As to why I did as I did, the night that Uther dishonored himself, I spoke to Merlin. When he assisted Uther in the act.
What did Uther do?
Perin's whole positioning on, he's been riding stiff as a board since we left the rest of the group. And immediately you see him kind of go slack on his horse, and he goes, "Uther disguised himself as Gorlois that night. He let himself into the castle with Merlin's help, but he did not help his knights in. He simply took advantage."
He laid with the Lady Igraine.
Aye. And then he left.
That puts a lot more things into perspective.
That it does. But Perin, on that night, that we separated and you went to siege, I said in no specific words that your loyalties would indeed be tested. And I expected something like this. Not quite the magic, but that. And told you not to do anything foolish. What you just did is lie to people, one of whom I would have killed were my cousin not there. But a child has been taken from the king, the crown prince. What do you suspect the plan is?
Uther made a deal with Merlin. He agreed to a price. I heard him agree to the price.
What price?
I don't know for certain.
You
But-
don't know, but through power of inductive reasoning, you took it to mean that he promised his firstborn son for a chance at sleeping with the Lady Igraine?
Yes, I do. And I
I will
believe...
not lie, the king is an idiot, but he is not that bad.
He wasn't. He was. It was going to be Sir Madoc. Prince Madoc. He nearly died, yet he was saved by some miracle.
Edrich. And this time, Perin stops and turns the horse around. Uther already offered his firstborn son. He abandoned Madoc and made the deal. Whether it was Madoc or Arthur, the new boy, Uther did this. And he's trying to
Don't know
renege
that
on the price.
for certain.
I do. I may not have heard the words, but you were not there, Edrich. Don't preach to me as if you were. You did not see him throw dozens of knights against defenses just to test, to see if the castle was as impregnable as it was rumored to be.
So he's an awful field commander. That is no news. It
It goes beyond that, Edrich. It goes beyond that.
Perin, you say you did not hear him say these words, and yet you know. You suspect. You suspect, and for that, a child has been kidnapped by a wizard.
I spoke to Merlin that night. After Uther went into the castle. And I asked him what Uther had done. And Merlin said to me that we now wait for a just king. Make your own decisions. Edrich, I would never take that from you.
From the entirely vague statements of a person who has not said one concrete thing in his life?
Open
If he
your
were to
eyes.
say that the sky is blue, he would break out in boils. He
Edrich,
can't
open
give
your
a straight
eyes.
answer.
Look at where we are. Look at what we've done. Look at who's dead, whose bodies are buried in the dirt beneath our feet. What more proof do you need? What more evidence could you possibly need? We now
Proof
wait
of what?
for a just king.
Kings
Do
come
as you
and
must.
kings go. There was going to be another prince, but apparently not now. I know two things in this. I trust you, that is being tested, and I trust Goratrix. Goratrix, while on the search party, spoke highly of the High Druid that he barely understands, but I know in his heart he holds some trust for him. I don't believe that Merlin means ill, but a child is now no longer with his family, and you have made a liar, if only by inaction of us. We kill the people who would assault the innocent. We protect them. A baby is pretty innocent. I have met perhaps one baby who I would consider evil.
We serve Uther Pendragon. There's no justice in that. Do as you will, Edrich, but don't talk big to me like this if you don't intend to act.
If
Let
I
it
would
be.
do as I will, many of my friends will die. So I won't.
And
So I won't do as
Oh.
I will.
with that, I'm going to ask Edrich what are his 2 highest passions are.
Well, my 3
Mm.
passions are my love of family, my love of the Sword of Victory, and my homage to Uther, all tied at a lovely 20.
Okay. Right now, your Sword of Victory and your Homage Uther are at a direct conflict. And I think it's time
Yes.
for a roll-off.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen.
do it.
I'm going to roll the homage Uther first. It's coming. 12 of 20. I have
Okay.
I have a 40% chance of beating it.
8 and 12.
Whew.
Unfortunately,
Oh no.
it out
Now
is the homage Uther.
this won't change the outcome of your own decisions. However, your love Sword of Victory goes down by 10 points.
Oh.
Disgusting. Blind hatred makes you turn your cloak. Fine. I will find the wizard.
Both of you.
Oh no, Nightbot's at it again.
You will go.
No.
Oh no,
Nightbot.
Nightbot strikes again.
The tyrant Nightbot strikes again. Quick, steal its firstborn.
You its firstborn in revenge on its deal.
All right.
I think it is with this is Edrich turns to go, Florence goes. Stop! Both of you! This is insanity! Look, this is not a great situation for any of us. Yes, Sir Perin, Uther has done and he has done. I certainly do not agree with it. But he has made the actions that have affected things in a way that we are in the position we are in now. Edrich, as hard as I wish to say this in a cold-hearted fashion, we still have a prince and heir to our kingdom. Prince Madoc is the heir and the first in line to the throne. To be honest, without this additional child, it certainly makes things easier. Less conflict between noblemen, squabbling over who should take a throne one over the other. This might be a chance at unity, at focusing our direction. Our prince is hurting. He is damaged. But that does not make him any less of a man, nor a prince. Merlin has indeed committed a crime against the king, and for that reason, he will face the consequences, if he is found. But it'll take far more than 4 simple knights to find a master of the dark arts.
Now, Sir Florence used an argument which is very effective on Sir Edrich, which is, as harsh as it is to say, with only one heir, things are a lot simpler. I would like to make a roll. I would like to make a honest versus deceitful check. Deceitful being on the side of this and going, it would be better were they not in the picture as of the moment. Because he doesn't believe that Merlin means the child harm. He just thinks it's kind of skeezy that a kid is kidnapped. So I will roll honest, in which case he'll be a lot less happy with the situation. And I will roll deceitful, in which case he will go along with it out of pragmatism and expediency. Honest first. Failure.
Oh.
Deceitful.
Oh.
Success.
Oh, thank God.
You would see as he turns the horse and like goes to do that, something in Florence's words stills him. And when he turns, his face is a mask of cold rage. Before he lets out an exhale and says, "You are right. You are right. And for one of you to have stumbled," he says to Sir Perin, "into an effective way to deal with domestic policy is nothing short of a miracle. But you are right. This will make things simpler. I do not like this. I do not think you do either, but you seem to hate Uther more. I will go along with this. You tarnish my name and my honor, but that's okay. They are tools that we use to get what we want. And what I want is a stable realm, a stable king. And we will get it."
Okay, so for that, Thomas, please tick deceitful and arbitrary.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
Perin just like looks back at Edrich and then opens his mouth to speak and turns to Jarren, who has been very quiet this entire time.
Very quiet.
And what about you, Jarren?
He thinks for a long moment. He looks down and around. Where does this end? This deception? I do not trust Merlin. I don't know what his plan is. I don't know what he would even do with a baby. I dread, actually, about what he would do with a baby.
I pray that the deception will be allowed to end here. That we never have to look back on this moment again. But on the grounds that, in all likelihood, it doesn't, I trust you to use your judgment as best as you see fit. You have a right to do that. I only ask that, should you come to the conclusion that honesty is necessary when asked about this, I would only ask that you say that I helped bewitch Florence and Edrich and yourself into assisting me on it. Sole responsibility lies with me.
A bewitching. And he raises an eyebrow.
If it comes to that. And Perin smiles a little bit at that, but it's very much not a fun smile. It's
Right.
this sucks, whatever, man.
I see. I do not know what to think of our king. After being here for a time now, away from the Saxon threat, I wonder even more why we are here, on this small corner of the island. I even spoke with our king at a feast recently. I asked him what enemy we were hunting down, all the way over here in Cornwall. A traitor of a duke. I don't remember this duke marching armies into lands. Perhaps it was just a slight somewhere at court. All I know is that my uncle has died for it, while my family and friends die off to the east, to the Saxons. Always the Saxons. And we are over here, marching around a land I'm still not convinced we need to be at. The king is stumbling. Does that mean he shouldn't be king any longer? I don't know. But I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, Bob, if you're talking,
yeah,
you're mute.
that is a perfect point to stop tonight's episode. Is what I said. I said it was a slow burn to get to this culmination, but we got there.
Like fucking 10 episodes.
10 episodes and a very long feast
man.
before we got to the meat of tonight.
It took every bone in my body to not turn to Perin and go, I like you as much as I care for my peasants now.
This damn peasants.
That's not great.
Awesome. Well, let's wrap her up because we are way past due for Zack, and we can close it out. Zack, thanks for sticking around, being a trooper. I lied to you.
I'm
It's way longer.
so glad that Jarren got that last monologue too. I think that was it. You know, that was the episode for me, man. Whew.
Yeah, just uncertainty as a knight loyal to his king, but also seeing his king doing all kinds of shitty things. It's like, what do you do? And he's way out of the loop compared to you guys. I mean, he just walks into the situation and is like, what is going on?
Here and everyone's angry.
Man, that's part of the reason too why Perin was so like, all right, now that we got that out of the way, hey Jarren, was that argument pointless, or are we you know, I trust you with my life. Also, I don't know what your vibe is on that particular front.
I will add to one last piece I want to get in because I think it's fair and appropriate to give you this lead time. We do have Zack back for another episode. It's going to be a very focused episode. It's going to involve the Sword of Victory being summoned to the Castle of Tintagel 1 week after this event.
Ooh.
It's going to be so awkward. So awkward, and the wedding will also be awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That'll be something.
It'll be something.
All right, let's do some closures here. I'll go and then we'll just rip down the list and end her off with Zack. So Bob, taking time, Bob. I'll plug Open Pendragon. We've got like 3 or 4 episodes a month. Probably more like 3 for a couple of months. Then we should be opening up to about 4 or so. We have a good cast now, but you're more than welcome to join with us. Get to play along our stream, kind of play along on, if our streams are over in these places, then you're going to be participating way over on the other side, telling stories that help flesh out the world. Other than that, I've got a couple of streams on the weekend for D&D, and you can check out my schedule below this if you want to know more. That's all I have.
I love schedules.
Mm-hmm. Thomas, you're up.
Hello, my name is Thomas. I have been Sir Edrich, and oh boy, his conflicting loyalties resolved himself in a very painful way. 10. That's going to take a while to get back. But yes, I enjoyed myself immensely. Thank you, Bob, for running. Thank you, Zack, for being here. And thank you guys for providing lovely roleplay. Oh, and thank you guys in a more general way to the audience. And thank you for coming in with the raid.
Yes.
Mark,
Who's
you're up.
next? Sorry.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. We got lots of cool things like memes and shit posting and updates of whenever things go live. As well, Bob runs Open Pendragon, or I say a few of us are now running Pendragon, but Open Pendragon. But I'm sure that'll go into more details as time goes along. You want to learn more about that? Join the Discord.
Yeah, it's a fun Discord. There's lots of good stuff there.
Oh yeah.
um,
Otherwise, I have been Mark, playing now Lord Florence of Idmiston. Some updates for my kind of stuff. Over on the Cat's Meow, I have uploaded issue 2 of our Mask series. As well, on the 9th, coming up, we will be streaming the 3rd issue of the series of Masks Unregistered. So stay tuned for that.
yes,
That's me.
good stuff. Hi everybody. I'm Liam. I played Sir Perin of Durnford. Thank you everybody who joined in the raid today. I hope you enjoyed. Come watch us next Sunday, and also other stuff as well that Bob does. And of course, Cat's Meow, which I'm also in. Boy, this was a culmination of a lot of things. So I'm glad you guys got here just in time for a real exciting bit. We also check out the YouTube because there's context there as well. So yeah, you can follow me at Darth Coakley on Twitter, and I'll throw it over to Zack.
And I'm Zack. I've been Sir Jarren of Newton Manor, and yeah, I play board games on the internet. Technically, I'm a human. I don't really do socials. Well, kind of. But yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. It's always a blast. Getting to watch the stream on my own is way different than playing in it. It's like playing in your own TV series that you watch. It's a different out of body experience sometimes.
Right. Thanks, guys. That was some awesome role play, especially at the end. I really thoroughly enjoyed the conflict.
I don't like yelling at Thomas. I don't like
Like yelling back.
It's good,
I
you
just
guys-
want to be friends.
You guys were true to the characters, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that it went off as conflicting as it was. We've been slowly planting these seeds of like, okay, loyalty Uther, homage Uther. Okay, perfect. Your buddies, yep.
If Edrich were less of an asshole, it would have been so much more painful. But no. Oh, you're saying easier line of succession?
Yeah.
There is one.
Go ahead.
There is one thing. I have done a subterfuge, and I have hidden a little Easter egg somewhere inside this game. So if you watch back the YouTube video, you might be able to find it. Like, go ahead and comment if you found it. But Bob, this is for you too. I've set a bomb somewhere inside your game. You're never gonna find it.
Okay. All right. I think I know what you're talking about, because we were supposed to do that, and I think I'll add to it. Actually, no. If I add to it now, that'll ruin it. But yeah,
We'll see.
If you like what you're watching here, please make sure you check out the schedule. We love follows. We love comments in the comments on YouTube. You can check out the YouTube on the socials, so please hit us up and let us know. We're going to be back next week with a bit of a trial, guys. A bit of a trial. So, it's going to be a big one, and I look forward to seeing Zack back for part 2 of our story. So, let's see where this goes. All right, awesome. Have a good night. We're gonna do a raid, so don't go anywhere. I'm gonna throw this over to. Let me make sure.
Amaranth.
No. I want to make sure this.
Not
Yeah.
that there's anything wrong with that, but yes.
There's someone playing Stars Without Numbers, and they've got 5 people, so let's throw them 20 something.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. All right, and we're gonna stop the stream here. Have a good one.
Farewell.
Well,
Boy.
keep doing this till you tell me to stop, Bob.
I just want to get there's a long pause before the raid. Okay, we're stop.